Yesterday, we were. Yesterday, we were dreamers with a boundless imagination. Yesterday, we were youthful zealots embracing the promise of tomorrow. Yesterday, we were pioneers with bold ambitions. And then, one day, they became daring and intrepid warriors, fearless leaders in a brave new world, the very embodiment of their youthful hopes and dreams. They built lasting legacies, created new worlds, forged indelible moments that forever echo through time. Today is the dawn of another new era in professional wrestling. But we will never forget our storied past. Tonight, yesterday is honored, embraced. Tonight, we come together to celebrate, to remember, to relive the dream one more time. For their passion is still tireless, and their spirit forever endures. Then and now.
In my ass.
I just banged your wife?
Name of this garbage show again that I'm on.
Total non-stop impact.
My name's John, capital letter E, period, Bravo, and you're listening to the Total Non-Stop Impact Podcast.
This is the jaw-jacking Tuesday Night Impact, and his mother called him son because he shines like one. Mocha Skin Manimal, Rohit Raju, and you are watching Total Non-Stop Impact.
This is Taya La Güera Loca, and you are listening to Total Non-Stop Impact.
The Walking Weapon, Josh Alexander, and you're listening to Total Non-Stop Impact.
We are the Rascals, and you are listening to Total
Non-Stop
Impact Podcast, baby.
Woo! And what you're really listening to is Total Non-Stop Impact. Don't you dare miss a lesson. Oh, yeah, 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 yeah.
What's up, Impact Wrestling? Let's make some noise!
Sitting here, you guys got a 15-minute intro of putting yourselves over while I'm sitting here and watching J-Bone and Kaylon and your 50. I never saw a 15-minute intro of three guys putting themselves over.
This is the good stuff.
Welcome back, everybody, to Total Nonstop Impact. Impact Talk for Impact fans, featured right here on the TNI Network. Throwback edition, NWA-TNA number 41. And at the top of the show, I just want to send our condolences. Jay, as you saw at the top of the show, we had the video, the Barry Scott tribute and the one for Puppet. Our condolences to two TNA names. I mean, Barry Scott, an absolute legend in TNA and Impact Wrestling. J-Bone, thanks for putting that video together so quickly, man.
Yeah, you bet, dude.
That was it was big news, man. What a sad piece of news to have start off the night here today. So really bummed out. He was such a fan. His voice, I gotta say, unbiasedly speaking, I gotta say the best voiceover guy in wrestling history. I got like no other voiceover stands out to me, honestly. I gotta say, but what do you think, J-Bone?
Yeah, I spent some time today looking up some stuff, and I wanted to put something together. And the promo you heard is the last one he did, not including the silly little one that they did for Moose when he stole the TNA Championship. I was considering that one because that one actually was equally as good, even though it was kind of on a funny note. But this was for the TNA Access TV special. That was the audio you heard. I mean, honestly, it was a really tough decision because I listened to like 4 or 5 promos from the last few decades, and I was like, oh man, this is going to be a lot tougher than I thought. And I mean, his voice was tremendous.
Tremendous.
It's always been good. If you go to his YouTube channel, he actually has some really interesting little clips on there. Now, there's not a ton of content, but there's some interesting little clips if you just want to hear something different from him, other than the world of professional wrestling. Yeah, it's terribly sad. And then the news with Puppet on top of it. I know we've shared some jokes about him over the last few months doing reviews on here, but that's sad too. I mean, he's a piece of history,
Yeah, Puppet for sure, because we're doing throwbacks. So he was just a little while ago. We saw him on the show. He wasn't on for too long, but absolutely, he's the iconic interaction with him and Dusty Rhodes, or the midget jerking off in a trash can. No, that was Puppet. So.
I watched that clip earlier this afternoon when I heard the news, and I was like, no, I'm not going to include the photo of that one. As goofy and as funny as it was, I was like, no, I'll try to find some more appropriate, if you can call anything he did appropriate. But you know what I mean? Just a little more conservative in the realm of his content that he gave us for the classic TNA stuff.
Yeah. So definitely Puppet was a little fresh, especially on this show, the Throwback show. And but Barry Scott, man, it's a very sad thing. He was only 65, and I got to see today. I never really knew what he did. I just knew him as everybody kind of knew him as the TNA voiceover guy. Yeah. But I started seeing information about him pop up today, and it was, he was an actor, stage actor, did a lot of voiceovers apparently, especially on the Nashville, Tennessee area. A lot of his students, he was teaching. A lot of his students chimed in. It was just a sad day for the acting community out there, because I guess he was a pretty big name for a long time, man. And I just
that's something I'm gonna have to actually look up. I really don't know what else he all did. I'm really curious now. It's just one of those things that I never took the time to really look at. But we as fans of Impact Wrestling in the classic TNA days, he's done the opening for so many great events over the years. And man, just you were having a conversation with someone on Twitter earlier, Connie something, I'm sorry, I don't remember the name, talking about one of the few people out there with a voice that can give you goosebumps. And it's true. It's so true.
The opening of, I think, their debut on Spike was a huge one. I
watched that one too. That was so good.
And props to Garrett of Impact Wrestling. He's the social media manager, and he got the video. Not only did he put the post up to let us all know, but he started posting a thread of like almost all of Barry's openings. So if you haven't seen it, if you're not familiar with it, go to the post, and he's threaded a ton of them, and they're just so iconic, man. I used to absolutely love listening to his openings, and there's a couple that'll just make you emotional, just the way he says them, So I think one in recent memory too, J-Bone, the one that sticks out is Slammiversary 2018, which is had to be one of the best Impact pay-per-views of all time.
That's where I got the photos from. It's him just walking around expressing himself, and I got goosebumps just thinking about it.
I remember there was a video of the making of that one too. So there was a little background one. They were making that one, and they showed that, and that was his comeback. That was he had been gone for a bit, and he had come back for that one, I believe. So it was pretty cool, man.
Yeah.
But yeah, definitely very, very sad. Our condolences to Barry Scott and his family and friends, and the family at Impact Wrestling for the loss. And also the last one he did, I gotta say, if you haven't seen the last one, he left us really happy. He left us smiling, guys. The one he did for Moose, if you guys remember that one.
Yeah.
It was great because Moose, obviously, as we know, is doing the TNA champion thing. And the best part of this was, so there's a Moose package playing, and it's with the other guy. It's with the newer voiceover guy. And you get Moose going, no, wait, hold on. It's like, record skipping. It's like, wait a minute, I'm the TNA World Heavyweight Champion. Well, give me the TNA voice guy. And it's like, there are times when a champion arises. It's like, oh shit. And I remember we were watching it and we fucking popped huge watching that one.
Yeah.
So
I just want to share just a real brief conversation I had with Kevin Martin, who's one of the guys that we always talk about in production with Impact Wrestling. Talked about be sure to dedicate tonight's throwback to Barry Scott. And I told him, I'm like, I'm in the middle of working on something right now, brother. And he said, very sad. I met him for the very first time back when he came in to do that Moose opening. Never thought that'd be the last time I saw him.
Yeah, that's tough. Especially Kevin, he's young, he's newer in the company, and I'm sure he was probably excited for the thought of maybe doing more with Barry, so could have been a lot of fun. But definitely rest in peace, Barry Scott. But everyone, guys, definitely go see his work. Go check out the work he did leave us with. It is on Impact Wrestling's Twitter, all threaded up very nicely. Thanks to Garrett. So thank you to Garrett for putting that together. All right, so guys,
I want to talk about Puppet just for a minute. I looked up and I forgot what he all did. He had that. No, I took down the IMDb. He had that show on. It was Spike, right?
Yeah,
with all the midget wrestling. What they call midget brawlers,
extreme midget brawlers, or something.
Something like that. And it was a reality show where they were going around. And from town to town, and the shenanigans they would do. I mean, it really was a kind of a midget version of like Jackass, because they'd be always messing with each other and going from place to place. And I forgot that. Oh, was it Micro Brawlers?
Micro Brawlers, yeah.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry.
Half Prime Brawlers. There
was but that's it.
There were two of them at one point. There were two of these shows going around. I remember that. I do remember those two of these midget wrestling shows going around. It was so weird. Then one of them was on tour, and I went and saw one at a Tilted Kilt in Chicago. So, but anyway, go on.
Oh yeah, I just remember he was on the shows, and if you go to his IMDb, you can actually see he was actually in a bunch of movies too, including some version of a Wizard of Oz movie from within the last decade. So he did some acting too. So, it wasn't all just, trash cans and kendo sticks for him.
He was very entertaining though. He had a good delivery. He was entertaining. Very sad to see him pass though, man. Sad to see him pass as well. Same. I mean, I think I thought I saw a post for him very, very early morning. I'm talking like 2 a.m. So it was very early, and then Barry later today. So our condolences to both families for sure. And then that tribute video you guys saw, we're gonna play that on the flagship show on Tuesday as well. We're definitely not gonna forget. I know it's fresh today, so we wanted to get something out today, but we are going to play that again. It's a reminder, everybody, to the memory of these two. For sure. All right. J-Bone, we're doing episode number 41, NWA-TNA number 41. We've been doing this for 41 weeks. Guys, Bill is not here. Bill, big surprise, J-Bone. Big surprise. He's at an indie show today. Is anyone surprised? Bill is at an indie show on a Thursday night, like 2 hours away from his house. He is sitting front row, as we confirmed yesterday. But he did say, Jay, he might patch in on location. Didn't he tell us that? He told us, I'm going to call in on location.
He did.
So Bill might pop in, guys. It's a possibility. And knowing Bill, as dedicated as he is to the craft, he probably watched the show before he left. So hey, there's a very good chance Bill will join for this episode. So as a 41, there was not really much news going on. So we'll save the news till Sunday, the open forum. We'll talk a little bit about some of the merchandise, things like that on Sunday's show. And I believe there was no Explosion watch along this week, correct, Jay?
It was no. Well, they put up a different. I'm trying to multitask here. I'm sorry.
No, go ahead. I think they put up a different time or something, right? They changed the time?
I always check it on their Twitch just to make sure I got the right time because I couldn't remember it offhand. So when I looked, I was like, "Oh wait, it's listed as 7 to 8 as opposed to 6 to 7." Because I was doing the co-stream right before AEW went on, so it was perfect timing. And I was like, "Oh, I guess I can't do it this week because they changed the time." But then they were showing it at the original time, so yeah, it was kind of mixed up. But
nice. I just got a message from Brian, our Twitch guru, and he said, "Type in exclamation point scumbag." And the stream elements come up with Kyle is the scummiest scumbag of them all. I don't know what that is.
Oh, that's what that was. I saw that in the chat, and I thought that was Kyle. I was like, what the heck is that? I'm trying to look for that that thing you said to change the
yeah, you go ahead and do that. Let me set up the show.
Yeah, I don't remember where I saw that. Where is that?
You'll find it. You keep looking for that. I'll go ahead and set the show up, and then so I want to know from the chat. I want to know from the chat real quick. Who did watch episode 41? Who is on board with us? Who's been keeping up with us as we're doing this week to week? I want to know that. Who's been watching? There's a couple of you guys who are watching every week. Anybody new who actually jumped on, watched episode 41? This was a great one. This was actually a very, very energetic episode, and I am really eager to talk about this one. I got to say, this one felt like it flew by. Oh, wait a minute. He's here. Wait a minute, hold on. Roadside, Bill on the road. He's patching in. Here he is. Bill on the road. What's happening,
Bill? What is up?
There he is. Can you hear us, Bill?
Oh, he's trying to change his. There we go.
There we go.
Hey, yeah, you got it. You got it. We can't hear you though.
We can't hear you though, Bill. We can see you. He's masked up everybody. It's very very responsible for him. No, definitely some audio settings off, Bill. We can't hear you. But we can definitely see your face. You keep trying to get heard. We'll see what. Oh wait, he's on mute. Wait a minute.
No, he just muted himself. He's
okay. Muted himself. Okay, got it. Nothing yet, Bill.
Not yet.
Sorry, bud. Interesting note from Millard Harris about this episode.
We'll try to get him back. All right. I think I changed his setting. Okay.
All right, sounds good. Millard Harris is saying, Jay, on the pre-show of this episode that we just watched, 41, Eric Watts beat Antonio Banks, aka MVP. Huh? How about that? That's an interesting little piece of trivia.
Oh.
I like that. And thank you to Brian for putting in the shortcuts in here too. So little chat shortcuts, which is really nice. Thank you very much, Brian. There's social media links that are posting up, guys. Those are going in there. Take a look. Definitely follow us on all social medias. All right. We'll see if Bill can pop back in, but we'll go ahead and start the show off. J-Bone, episode 41, Nashville Asylum, April 16th, 2003. J-Bone. Now, as every week goes, I was on Dave's couch watching this on a Wednesday night.
Oh, no.
I paid my $5. He paid his $5, and we ordered it on Dave's couch, eating Chinese food. Where were you on April 16th, 2003?
Oh, probably planning a birthday because my birthday was a week away.
All right. All right. Are you making that up, Jim? I mean, I really want to know what you were doing. Were you getting hammered? Were you doing a pre-birthday celebration? Were you doing all those things that girls do that they celebrate for a whole month? That it's my birthday month. You know, you doing one of those things?
You kick everyone out for a week and no.
All right, cool. I like this. Bill uses 1-800 call collect. Man, I forgot about those 1-800. Bill's coming back in, guys. He's patching back in. Let's see if we can get him. Hold on. Hang on. There he is. Wait. Okay, Bill, we can hear you, I think.
Yes, I can definitely hear him.
Me too.
All right,
Take
very
two?
nice. Yep, you're good. You're good.
All right.
Bill, what's
I'm on my way back right now. I definitely should make it. I'll probably come on near the second half of the review from the studio.
All right, sounds good, man. Listen,
we're literally just starting the review now. We did our little tribute, so yeah, we got some time. We'll take our time with it.
All right, very nice, guys. Once again, pass my condolences to Barry, the voice of TNA. Sad to see that. And I know we had a second one later today, so it's tough day for TNA, but I knew you guys were doing a tribute video, and also glad that you guys got that out there.
Yeah, we're gonna play it, Bill. We're gonna play it again on Sunday, and then also Tuesday again on the flagship. So we, so we'll make sure to keep that rotating all week for sure.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, very nice.
But all right, sounds good, Bill. You drive safe. You get back to us. Look, what a dedication on this guy. Look, he's coming back from a show. He's gonna jump in so as not to miss the epic build to Raven and Jarrett. Look at this guy. Bill, we love you.
That's right. You can't miss it. Just like the people here watching. I caught it a little bit earlier, so we will definitely get there near those last couple matches and the build to that. And then Dave, the build to Dave joining the show in a couple weeks.
Yes, yeah, he's locked in. He's been watching. He's getting all hyped up too. It's like 2003 all over again with Dave's house. So, by the way, Bill Millard Harris saying you look like you just robbed the 7-Eleven and you're making a run for it. So be careful.
My official Loca mask. This is my deathmatch mask from Loca. So representing Ty and Impact while I'm out there.
Very nice. Very, very cool. Awesome. All right. Well, you get home. We're gonna start in just a minute here, and then we'll catch you on the second half.
All right. See you later.
All right. See you, Bill. Bye. Front row, Bill. Everybody. How about that?
Oh yeah.
He jumps in from the. I swear to God, the day of talking shop, I still can't get over how he pulled over on the side of a highway in Indiana, and then patched into the thing.
Crazy.
Before we start, I just want to mention one quick thing. Just got informed from Brian. Skull 17 on Twitch, guys. If you want to go give him a follow as well. He just let us know that we can do a schedule now on Twitch. We can put a schedule up. So Jay, there's a place to put a schedule up. So let's figure out where to put that schedule up so people know what our Twitch streaming schedule is. So you
have him DM me because I have no clue how to do that.
He's listening. Brian, give him a DM, pal.
There we go.
We can find it. All right.
It's appreciated.
Yeah, thank you. He's a huge help, man. Bro, Brian is really teaching us the ins and outs of Twitch, and we truly, truly appreciate all the help.
One thing at a time, right? One thing.
Yeah,
at a time.
And it's becoming our favorite. We love being on Twitch. It's becoming a big favorite of ours. So we're big fans of being.
It's
on
growing.
It.
We just passed 400 followers. That's a nice little achievement there.
Not bad in a few months, huh, Jay?
No, not bad at all. And while you're at it, head on over to Smash's podcast. Give that a follow too. Cheap plug.
Yeah, cheap plug it up. Why not? Why not? ProWrestlingTees.com/Total Nonstop Impact too. Cheap plug. How about that? All right. We open up the show, Jay, at the Asylum. Now remember, the build to Raven Jarrett is on. Like, this is it. We are in the stretch, right? It is 2 weeks from this show. Episode 43 is going to be that big match. And it's got heat. But in parallel, they got so much shit going on with Jeff Jarrett. Like that's looking back at it, right? Now you're watching this for the first time.
Yes.
You're seeing the main picture, Jarrett Raven going on. How does it feel when you're seeing like there's a bunch of other stuff happening? Like there's a bunch of people targeting Jarrett, which I like. I'm going to say this. On one sense, I like that because like they're showing the belt's the most important thing. But do you feel it's too busy? You got Dusty on his ass. You got Eric Watts on his ass. Everybody is on Jarrett's ass. Is it too much for the main event picture? What do you think?
Yeah, honestly, I feel like the stuff with Watts just is like it's too much. Like it doesn't belong there. Like
yeah, because it's like phased out now.
Like you see, if anything, it really has. It hasn't done. I mean, to me personally, it really hasn't done anything. He shows up with all these celebrity clips and all this kind of stuff, and what we'll talk about later today when he has this little run-in with Dusty. Which I guess if it's all just to get to Jarrett eventually, that's fine.
Yeah.
But I just feel like the whole thing is really ill-timed because there's so much other extreme things going on. The tag division, the former ECW guys, and we got Raven in the House of Orange of no, what the hell is it again?
Clockwork Orange House of Fun.
Thank you. Yeah, what he said, yes.
Well, I don't mind all the other story. I was like the Watts thing in particular. You're right. Because I'm like, where does he fit in now? Because he was like targeting Jarrett. Now all of a sudden it's like, where do you fit into this? Like you didn't get your shot. You were antagonizing him. I mean, were you antagonizing? Because then him going after Dusty later on. It's like, are you antagonizing the NWA? Or are you antagonizing whoever has the NWA title? And that's what the fake belt was and all that. Or the other belt.
Yeah, his boys went after Dusty. He's going after Jarrett. It's a little confusing. It's like, okay, you're where's your group? What is the goal of your group? Is it to take down the NWA? Is it to take down Dusty? Is it to take down Jarrett or everything as a whole? It's a little confusing.
And that's the thing that got me. It's like, what's the actual goal now? Where are we at with this? What's your end game? So we'll talk about it. Maybe it'll unfold more as we get on with it. But we open the show and Dusty's shown waiting outside for Jeff Jarrett, kind of because he got nailed by Jarrett last week with the chair, so he's waiting for Jarrett to confront him. We come inside. Raven's in the rafters with Julio, DiNero, and Alexis, Laree, which is Mickey James, if nobody caught that. And he's targeting Jarrett, right? He's saying he's tired of him trying to make this company a Southern wrestling 80s promotion.
Yeah.
And he says the first step in dismantling your power is taking the title from your waist, which I like that. And he does the whole thing about his destiny. And he says, tonight, D'Lo will be the victim of the Raven effect. It was such this is peak Raven. Peak Raven. You're a big Raven guy.
I love this, and I hadn't watched Raven stuff in a long time. Like this much content from him. I mean, when he did a lot of stuff with the Flock back in the day, man, that was the stuff that, I mean, I love Nash and the NWO and all that kind of stuff and the Wolf Pack and everything. And oh wait, that's the other guy. Never mind. But yeah,
are we doing?
Raven and I'd say, I don't know. I think Kyle. I channeled Kyle for a second. Shit. It's a weird.
Wait a minute. That was Kyle impersonating what he thought was me. What are you mudding the whole thing up? Go on.
But yeah, I always appreciated Raven. He just there was something, like I said, there was different people attracted different gimmicks, and that was the gimmick that I was all about Raven and his Flock. That was cool.
He was so good, and I get when he does the whole thing. It's my destiny, like, oh man, it can hit you like immediately when he does that's my destiny. I love that, and he said it again in this promo.
Yeah.
You really get, because you notice the crowd is so behind him. They're really into this. So they go right into the match. He targets D'Lo. It's him and D'Lo tonight. He goes right into it, and the crowd, man, I don't know what kind of hype that crowd had, but man, they just they were hot for this match, man.
All night they were hot. I mean, the action in this particular episode was ridiculous. It really was. I mean, it was. It was extreme everything, and normally I don't pay that much attention to the super extreme stuff, because sometimes, especially if it's like a main event, that just kind of gets lost in the mix. But this one was like crazy nuts all the way through.
It was. I love it. I love the energy, man. The crowd just eating it up. Because the thing is, we found out how over D'Lo is. Like D'Lo's like stupid over with this crowd. We found out.
He is so loved, and it's absolutely seen that way here, because sometimes it's a little hard to tell. Do they love Raven? Do they hate him? Because I feel like the crowd goes both ways once in a while. But with D'Lo, they absolutely love him. It's without a doubt.
When the first promo he had, when he showed up, and I still can't get over that pop. Like to this day, one of the biggest TNA Impact Wrestling pops. Like I forgot how over he was. But no, definitely a great match. A lot of fun. I did. Now, Adam Impact over here brought up a good point. I want to just display his comment. He mentions, let me pull this up. He said, Julio DiNero didn't fit in with Raven's crew. However, Alexis and CM Punk, who comes later on, makes sense. I gotta say, man, I thought he looked the part. He didn't have much of a personality, but they dressed him up to look the gold gothic, hot topic-y part. I guess he was a good bumper. He probably took some good bumps.
See, I'm gonna actually say he fit in very well.
I thought so, yeah.
Because I didn't remember seeing him a lot back in the day in anything else. So this was, this is someone that's new, that's catching my eye. It's like, it's great when, you know, the EC3 guys or EC3, Jesus, ECW guys show up and it's like, oh yeah, I love the ECW guys. We get a couple nice surprises later in the episode that we'll talk about. But this guy, like, I know nothing about, so I was paying attention to him. And if you watch him when he's like coming down to the ring here and later on in the episode, he actually does show some character. He shows like he's like it's almost like he's demented. Like he's walking around like this with his head cocked and he's messing with his hair.
He was trying,
like,
no question.
Like he's like disturbed or something. So yeah, I mean, he was doing something. It just it came off a little weird because it was like the first time seeing him, but it's like, oh man, what's up with this guy? Just is he needs a flea collar or something. I don't know. He just
but no, he was trying, I gotta say, Adam. I mean, I can see where Adam's point's coming from, but I think Julio was trying given the character going on at the time. But Raven, it was good because this match was cool because you have Julio powders D'Lo at one point. D'Lo's all discombobulated. He does a sky high to Alexis, huge, like he fucking nails her.
She really takes some bumps in this episode. I mean, she's 4 years in, and you want to talk about paying dues. Jiminy Christmas. I mean, she is all just kinds of beat the hell in this episode from everyone. It's just nuts.
Consider this too, guys. You're talking about Alexis, Laree, Mickie James, now one of the best women's wrestlers of all time. I mean, best knockout, diva, you name it. She's a legend at this point.
Yeah,
So-
she's still on TV, and I love watching her. We got to say, you know, she still does it.
No doubt. I mean, that's Mickie James, man. So very young. It's crazy to see her so young in her career here, but it was still very cool to see her. But man, what a bump she took. But D'Lo takes out Julio. D'Lo's all blinded. Raven hits the DDT. He wins. Crowd super pop. They were so into this one. We go into that from that to a hype package for the whole Raven title match. Basically, I mean, as you guys see, the build has been going on for about a month and a half, right, Jay? Like it's a month and a half or maybe 2 months of just like them kind of digging at each other. 2 months of Jarrett and Raven digging. And then, but the last month up to this point has just been balls out. The match. This is it. It's the match. You know, like now we're going to the match.
It's certainly taking. He's really. I mean, he mentions SEX in the beginning promo, but he's really separated himself from them in a lot of ways. I mean, he's really. You know, he's not in the locker room when you see everyone together.
Yeah.
He's forming his own little, for lack of better words, flock. I don't know if he's really called his little group of minions, Alexis, Laree, or Julio DiNero. I don't know if he's actually labeled them as anything yet.
Not yet. Not at this point. They haven't given it a name yet. So at this point, it's still Mike today was referring to it as Raven's his followers or something. He kept calling them. So there's no official name at this point.
Okay. But yeah, it's cool. I like this. Yeah. And it's especially great to see where, former knockout, Alexis Laree, AKA Mickie James, really started from. And it really respect her for all the stuff she does, especially in an episode like this. She's all over the place.
She is. She absolutely is. So no, definitely she's amazing. You could see the potential was there. You know, you saw it right there.
Oh, yeah.
So like I said, we're starting to build the match now. Goldie in the Sports Entertainment Extreme locker room. And this was cool, Jay. Guys, I love this one. If you guys watch this.
This was
a very good moment for Sports Entertainment Extreme. Why don't you set this one up, Jay? I've been doing a lot of time. I'm gonna go back and forth with you on this. Go ahead.
Well, Glenn Gilberti has been busting his balls literally lately, trying to hold this group together.
Yes.
And if it means whooping someone's ass like Mike Sanders in the past or something like that, or he's got to rough up someone else like what's his name?
Well, you had Sanders, Siaki.
Thank you. I was thinking Julio. I'm mixing up all the new guys. Trying to knock some sense into Siaki, who's so big headed. Everyone was fired up in the locker room this time. He's talking to everyone. He's calling everyone out. He was even on the same page as Sanders, because those two they've been really butting heads lately.
Yes.
And he got in the face of Siaki. He got in the face of the tag champs. Even the Harris brothers. Even had the Harris brothers roll a towel up in his fist.
This was great.
And he's like, hit me. He hits him. And he comes back. He goes, is that all you got? Hits his brother. Is that all your brother's got? Hits him like 2-3 more times. It's like, oh my God. And he's getting fired up. He's got the whole room locked. This is the most united sports entertainment extreme has been in the last couple months. I
loved it.
Ever since Russo left.
I love it because he's hyping up his match with Age, a street fight coming up, but he's like, he went around the horn. Like, he went to everybody. What about you, Siaki? What about you, Harris brothers? You guys gonna do this? Triple S, you gonna keep those tag belts? And I was like, fuck, that was a good promo.
Yeah, it really was. I mean, as much as I've said in the past that I can't stand him on other podcasts just because I feel like his voice is annoying as shit.
Kermit the Frog.
It's Kermit on crack. It's no, but all respect to him here. I mean, he really they really played this off well. Like, everyone's like, let's go out there, let's do this. Yeah. It's like coach talking to the football team before a game.
I love Glenn Gilberti. I'll be honest. I've subscribed to the Russo brand. I've just mainly for the shows he's on. Keeping it 100, I'm a big fan of. So I think he's an absolutely an intelligent guy who gets the business extremely well. People don't want to hear it. Sometimes he has some harsh truth. People don't want to hear it, but I think the guy is very intelligent and he totally gets this business. But I'm a big fan. But even though that louse, Glenn Gilberti, that louse did not thank me for holding the door open for him at the ECW arena last year. He was walking in. I said, "Oh, Glenn, how you doing?" I was there before the show at Impact. And I was just hanging with everybody. I held the door open for the guy and just brushed me off like I was some kind of mark. Oh, hey, wait a minute. It's a thank you. What bullshit is that? But total louse.
What a Mark Trent holding the door for
I know. As Russo would say, what a louse. What a louse, bro.
Bro.
But anyway, but he was great here. Absolutely fantastic. We go right from that, though, to the disco. I still, in my notes, I still call him disco. I can't call him.
I always write. I think this is the first time in a long time I didn't write down disco, but yeah.
Adam Impact mentioned. I love this too. In this episode, Adam, there's a ton of this with Goldie just yelling, people, come on, stop. Oh my God. What are you doing? Like a good looking Lance Russell. Great reference. If you guys know Lance Russell, Memphis wrestling announcer. But Lance Russell was notorious for just like, oh, come on, Jerry. What are you doing? Oh, come on, Bill. What's happening? Like, so he was awesome. He was awesome. So you're right, though. She's like a sexy Lance Russell. Disco Fever, Zach Bonifer. You know it, baby. You know it. But that's such a good man. I like that, Adam. She's a sexy. I added the sexy part. She's a sexy Lance Russell. JJ, were you a Memphis wrestling guy? I'm a huge Memphis wrestling nerd, man.
I've seen clips over the years, and it's just one that I was never introduced to. In fact, I didn't know about it till much later in life. It's just one of those smaller territories that never caught my eye. And I know the content is out there on some other network somewhere, but yeah, I mean, classics like Junkyard Dog. I think Lawler's in there. Ted DiBiase,
Bill Dundee, who is a legend also. I mean, everybody went through Memphis. Yeah,
usually you're going through there before they hit the WWF back in the day.
Yeah. So, I love that though, because she's doing that a lot in this episode. So we'll get to it. But yeah, she's all like, "Come on, guys, relax. What the hell's going on?" Like she's all pissed off in this. But we go to the
she always gets caught in the middle of something. It's hilarious.
Did you notice in this next match though with Disco and AJ commentary? Did you catch this again 2 weeks in a row now, J-Bone? They keep dropping the hints of we need some kind of commissioner to some kind of law and order around. We need somebody in a authority role to handle some business around. We need some kind of commissioner, or like they kept talking about a commissioner. It's like second week in a row now.
And they really haven't had any. I mean, Dusty showed up, but he's not really an authoritative role. He's more of a He's there, but he's not really. I don't know how to say it. Yeah.
Well, he's not really an authority. He came kind of, basically since the now late Bullet Bob Armstrong. Since he left, we haven't had the authority figure.
This is true. I mean, he got kind of like just, upset and left at some point, I guess.
God damn it, I can't take this son of a bitch, you all crazy goddamn whippersnappers.
always telling Goldie to get out of his face, and she nagged him more than his wife or whatever that was.
His TNA run is so underrated because how long do we laugh on that one for, J Bone? Where he's like, it's like, I got a damn wife at home that doesn't nag me as much as you do, woman. I fucking popped at that one. I don't know how many times.
That's priceless.
Unbelievable. This was a good match. This was it was very intense though. I got to say, very, very intense. Like they were brawling all over the place. Disco's got a great punch. If you notice, I'm big on like a good punch. Like if a guy can throw a solid looking punch, that you guys don't understand what a difference it makes. Some of you old school fans who are listening live to us right now, I'm sure you guys would catch this too. But there are some guys who, when because they can throw a solid punch, their matches look so much more believable. Disco in the newer era, Disco is one of them. Like a couple that come to mind, like I always felt like Razor threw a good punch. Jerry Lawler had a fantastic punch. Jackie Fargo. Speaking of Memphis,
Lawler's punch, chips. Yeah.
Because Lawler's hero is Jackie Fargo's. Jackie Fargo, I think, was the best punch in wrestling ever. And he threw a phenomenal punch. I mean, Jackie Fargo looked like he'd kill you with that punch. So like Bret Hart had a great punch, I think. So a lot of guys do. And Disco has a good one. So for a street fight like this, a good punch is good because all you're doing is punching and kicking, basically.
Yeah.
But I like it, Jake. So they brawl all over. They get to the locker room. And goddamn Sanders, you see him like slink out of the locker room. Bob Eaton's another one. Miller Harris, thank you. He sneaks out of the locker room. He starts taking a couple of shots on AJ. Did you see this? I love that, where he just kind of sneaks in a couple of shots.
Yeah, and then someone comes to his rescue. I can't remember who it is.
D'Lo
D'Lo comes out there too. Yeah, I'm sorry. I know there was a couple people that got involved towards the end there. Yeah.
Yes. D'Lo comes in. They make their way back. The finish to this, though, Harley Race, another good one, Adam. Thank you.
Oh, Harley, priceless.
The finish for this was fucking awesome. Did you note this? I noticed this finish in particular to me was awesome.
I didn't. I'm sorry.
Okay, check this out. So this is awesome. So the refs all distracted, knocked out, whatever, right?
That's nothing new in these matches lately.
Yeah, I mean,
either knocked out or distracted.
If it was Rudy, I'm not surprised. Goddamn Rudy Charles. So this was great. AJ is going at Disco with a chair, and Disco kicks him in the stomach. AJ stumbles. The chair goes in front of him, kind of like right about here. And then Disco gives him a chart buster.
Yeah. He gives him like a stunner, and he bounces off the top of the chair like
chair. Oh, what a finish! It was so smooth. If you guys haven't watched this, I recommend just going to Plus to watch that finish because it was so smooth. Like chair going, kick to the gut. Oh shit! Stumble, chart buster on the throat, out. Disco wins. It was so well done. I really, really enjoyed that one.
Yes.
Good finish like that was very creative.
Yeah, those two, I mean, I don't usually pay a lot of attention to these, but these two really went at it pretty strong.
They did. They really did. I did not expect this hard hitting of a match out of these two, but it was fantastic. So that was good. That was very good. Dusty's in the back with Goldie outside, and he's threatening Jeff Jarrett. And he's kind of just saying he's still waiting for Jarrett. And then a Watts comes. This was great now, Jay. Watts stumbles in. And he's like, oh, look who it is. He goes, look, where y'all celebrities at? Where you celebrity? Oh, you're not here for celebrity. And he goes, you were too busy hanging out with celebrities when you should have had your tights on and training because you know you couldn't cut it. And I literally in my notes I wrote Dusty cuts fire on Watts. But
and then Watts comes back with something. And Dusty's like, you know what, Watts? You're not even on my itinerary for the evening, so just go. It's like you're not even worth messing with tonight because you don't mean anything to me. It was like, wow.
And he leaves. Dusty turns to go. Watts throws his gym bag at his back, and he knocks Dusty out. Goes over, pulls the NWA Championship, which is now this is weird how this just transitioned more to Watts because David Flair brought the belt in. It was Rick's old belt. David brought it in to mock everything, and then now Watts is the one using it. And David Flair's not even on the show, so I don't know where the hell that all comes in.
Interesting. Yeah,
this is funny, right?
They're just tossing the belt around it back.
But Dusty was really knocked out, and again Goldie right here. What are you doing? Oh
yeah. I mean, she really goes into step over Dusty to stop, along with there's a couple other security guards there, but she steps over Dusty as in to cover him, like, hey, that's enough, he's out. And then she leans down to kind of cup the back of his head because he's like, selling the blow from the belt of the bag. I mean, those belts are not light by any means, so it's like, oh, it's just a bag. No, it's what's in the bag.
I'll tell you what, I have a replica NWA title that I got for my bachelor party for my failed fucking marriage. So the guys, all the boys gave me an NWA title belt and they signed the inside of it, which I still have. And it's a heavy fucking belt. The best thing to come out of that goddamn marriage was me getting that title.
There you go.
But no, those are heavy. I mean, they can hurt, I guess if they're thrown at you hard enough, they can fucking hurt. So he's out. So now this brings me back to what we opened the show with, Jay. Are they transitioning Watts to Dusty? Because Dusty was also targeting Jarrett, but it's like the enemy of my enemy is my friend. It's like, are they kind of linking these two now? I mean, what do you is that where you think it's going? Because I don't remember obviously, but it feels like
it's hard to tell because Watts goes after Jarrett later and messes with him as Jarrett's prepping for tonight's match. He's it's really hard to tell. I think Watts is just trying to just get as much attention as he can at this point, and then as soon as the Raven stuff is done, we'll be able to see where the focus is supposed to lie. Maybe.
Okay, fair enough. I'd rather have what does this say? What is Adam saying here? I'd rather have 10 pounds of gold than 10 pounds of pain in my ass. Trent, did your marriage last longer than Tommy Rich's NWA World Title reign? This is the best fucking comment in relation to my marriage ever. Slightly longer than Tommy Rich's title reign, which was I think a week, 6 days. Millard, I think it was only 6 days. Tommy Rich's title reign. You know what's funny about that? Tommy Rich's world title reign when he beats Harley Race in Georgia, because Tommy Rich was over like Rover in Georgia, right? NWA title. In that 6 days, he even made a Japanese tour, from what I remember hearing on a shoot interview with him. The guy wins it in Georgia, makes a Japanese tour to defend the title like twice, came back and he lost back to Harley Race. So fucking crazy what the NWA champion did back then.
Well, fucking I mean, it was at least the world. It was still the world championship if you took it across the world. I mean, there's that, but yeah, it's
yeah, that's crazy though.
Whoops.
No, that's I was at the Atlanta airport before lockdown in November, and I'm going to the car. I'm going to get my Uber, and there's a post, Jay. There's a post, a little light pole thing at the Hartsfield Airport, wherever it is, and there is a sticker on the post, and it's a black and white picture of Tommy Rich, and it's Tommy Rich, and it's got a promo written out, and it's on this light post, and I'm like, this fucking guy is still over in Atlanta. Like 38 years later, he was still over in Atlanta, where people are putting up stickers of Tommy Rich around the airport. Unreal.
Crazy.
I love Tommy Rich. The Buzz Sawyer and Tommy Rich feud is a fantastic feud. If you guys haven't seen it, highly recommend.
Did it say at the bottom Tommy Rich was here?
No, come on, baby, it's all a work. I love how he talks too. He's like that smoker's voice, like, oh, come on, baby, it's all a work, baby. Come on, you know how it is. NWA champion, baby. I think I do a pretty good Tommy Rich. But I swear to God, Jay, a match you need to see is Tommy Rich and Buzz Sawyer. Their whole feud was insane, and it's a tragedy that DVD and taping wasn't as prominent back then, because that's a feud to have on tape.
If it's on YouTube, you said Tommy Rich versus
Buzz Sawyer. Yeah, and he was the Don. He was the Don, and he was the FBI and ECW. Thank you, Zach. He was there. Come on, baby, it's just a work. Life's a work, baby. Duck the clothesline. Sorry, where are we at here? I got so distracted with Tommy Rich. This was a great segment here, Jay. The X-Division title match. So Kid Kash defending against Mike Sanders. So we open up. Now, this is, if you guys have been watching along, thank you, Adam. That is, I am very proud of my Tommy Rich impersonation. I really am. Adam, baby, I appreciate that, man. Let's go get a smoke and some whiskey. I'll sign you a couple autographs. You know what I'm saying? I don't think I ever met him, but man, I got to do that for him for sure. So Kid Kash and Trinity falling apart, right? I'm talking like they're just disintegrating. He's been leaving her in the dust. He's been mean to her. But listen, before the match starts, she's Trinity looking gorgeous here, by the way, right, J-Mo? She is looking hotter than hell in this.
She is very, very pretty. Yes.
She's very pretty. And he says, listen, hey, you were a big part of my success. I've been bad to you. I've been real bad to you. I hurt you, and I wasn't there for you like you were there for me. And I want to be there for you. If you want to wrestle, man, I'll be there for you like you've been there for me. He's like, can we go back to what we were? Just us against everybody. And she's kind of shy. And then he kisses her, gives her a nice big fucking, just a loving kiss right in the middle of the ring.
Oh yeah, he lays it on smooth, gets in real close, and really catches her off guard. And she does one of those shy little covered up my face after he kissed her, and she doesn't say nothing. But it looks like she's all good with him. Then it looks like she's
happy.
Yeah. She's like, okay, I'm all right. You got me back. All right.
My buddy Jeremiah Bishop's in the chat here. He says he met Tommy Rich. That's a good impersonation. You guys, this is my boy Jeremiah Bishop. He's an aspiring professional wrestler, heart of gold, and I definitely give him a follow. Jeremiah, put your Twitter handle in the chat. Let people know they can follow you. This guy, talk about somebody who has the determination to bust his ass to make it in the business. He's an up and coming guy. Give him a follow, guys. So Jeremiah, go ahead and put your Twitter handle in the chat here. People can follow you. But and thank you for the compliment. And Zach Bonifer wants me to do Tommy Rich talking to Sammy Callahan.
Oh, jeez.
How about this? I'll wait till Bill comes on and we'll do it then. Come on, baby. What a death machine. Hell, you ain't died till you live, boy. You know what I'm saying? I'll do a whole thing. All right. J-Mo's like, oh, fuck.
Kyle ain't here, and it's going off the rails, folks, and I didn't do a damn thing.
That's true. This is going off the rails. Without Kyle going off the rails here today. You ain't lived till you ain't died till you live, son. What are you talking about? No, I got to save it for Bill. There you go. But he gives her a kiss, right? So he's like real sweet. Like she's on with him. And Sanders comes in. Sanders is having a fantastic match at this point. Sanders is wrestling a very good psychological match. He's breaking up pins. He's getting little moments. But dude, Trinity, she got the apology. You apologize to your woman. You make her feel better. You give her a kiss. You tell her you love her. She's putty in your hands. And then Trinity, she's right there. All she wanted was a sorry. That's all she wanted was a sorry.
Yeah.
She just wanted an apology. And she was on fire for him, J-Bone, huh?
Oh, did she step up the game for him in
Holy
this match?
Shit, man.
She did a three move combo, like, you know, top rope stuff, hurricanrana, all this kind of crazy stuff. Man, she let Sanders have it. And you know, while of course Kid Kash has the ref distracted in the corner, pulls him down, he's checking on him. And at one point, Trinity flies across the ring and actually bumps into the ref practically.
Yes.
And I'm like, oh, it's gonna go to hell from there. But no, he stays with Kash. The ref is focused completely on Kid Kash. So it's like, okay, oh phew, that almost went to hell there. But no, it was a tremendous combo that she put on there.
We got we have somebody joining here. He's coming in. J-Bone, let him in. He's here. The front row guy himself.
Oh.
Bill is back in the house. Very nice.
Hot tag.
How you doing, Bill?
Good. How you guys doing?
Good. We just got to. Did you watch the show? Were you able to watch it?
I did.
We are just on Kash and Sanders. Kash and
Sanders. Okay. Yeah.
This
did you get to? Well, before the match,
we just talked about it. Give us your opinion on it. You talk about it now. Give us your opinion. How great was that?
It was. That was quite the sight. Because honestly, I didn't think it was going to end like that. The fairy tale romance to at least start that. I thought Trinity had something coming to her probably from Kid Kash. So maybe not tonight, maybe not right now, but soon.
Yes. It was. I mean, I was telling Jay, I'm like, she looked like all she wanted was that apology. That's all she wanted.
Oh, she was thrilled
because she turned it up during the match. She was all flipping all over the place. She was doing her fucking hand. She was busting her ass for him in this match. Now, and I was saying Sanders wrestled a great match too. Kind of got overshadowed by the story, but he wrestled a great match.
He did, yeah, because that story was like, whoa, they went there.
I'm kind of shocked though, guys. I thought, looking back, I thought they would have maybe given Sanders the X title just to give Sports Entertainment Extreme control of the X division for a little bit, because I don't think they ever ended up doing that. I don't think Sex ever got the X title later on. And,
no, because when Sonny had it, he wasn't in there, right?
Right. I don't think he was in. He might have been.
No, he might have been with Desire. Yeah, but not at the same time.
Right, and he lost it pretty quick too. But it was just, I thought this was a good moment to give it to Sanders, because it could have been where, like, you could have done something where, like, maybe Kash loses it to Sanders and he blames Trinity right away, that kind of thing, because it would have been perfect, would have made total sense. However, Trinity even helps him win. Yeah, she trips Sanders. Kash gets in there, gets the win, does that little moonsault kick, so he wins. The fake keeps title. Now Sex comes in to jump them both, and then Kash takes off. He's like, I'm fucking out of here. He's just like, well, I'm out.
The Harris brothers absolutely decimate Trinity. They give, I don't know, what's that called, the H-bomb or whatever. They got that double slam. I was like, holy cow. And Kash is at the top of the ramp already, like, oh, hell no. See ya. Thanks for the help, but no, I'm out of here.
He was like, oh, shit. Okay, so here's my opinion. My question to you guys. Did they rush that a little bit? Could they have saved this for, because he just apologized. Mm-hmm. Like, it just happened 10 minutes prior. Could we have stretched it for another week where you're like, okay, cool, they're back together. And then just, hey, next week he fucks her over, I thought they rushed a little bit.
Yeah, this was a little too quick. It definitely, for something like that, where you're like, oh, wow, I would think at least 1 week, if not maybe even a couple weeks.
Just something to give it a little, let it settle in.
A little cool down. Yeah.
Because you just...
I'm gonna disagree, and because if you saw how hyped up that Sex locker room was, and knowing that they are out there defending the honor of Mike Sanders, who just got beat, they're in a sense here acting like the babyface because they just saw Sanders get two-timed by Kid Kash and Trinity. So the Harris brothers are like, oh no, screw this. We're gonna take this bitch out, you know? So I'm not surprised one bit. As tight as that locker room felt before the Disco Glenn Gilberti AJ Styles match, and how he had everybody hyped up, you know, eating out of the palm of his hand.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, oh no, it's absolutely no surprise that they went out there and absolutely destroyed her. I mean, Kid Kash is lucky because if they'd have had a hold of him, they'd have done a lot worse to him too. So
very true.
Well, you're right that the sex locker room was really pumped up tonight. Earlier in that promo with Disco and the Harris brothers, hit me. That was great.
Come on, you call that a punch? Hit me. We talked about how great that was. It was a fantastic moment. Bill, one thing you missed was me I did a great Tommy Wildfire Rich impersonation while you were gone. and I was like, come on, baby, it's all work. You know, duck the clothesline, laughs at work, baby. You know, I just started going into
That's not bad. I like a good Wildfire Rich promo.
I went into a whole thing about, I don't even know how I got on Tommy Rich, but I was talking about how I saw some Tommy Rich paraphernalia at the Atlanta airport about a year ago. And
really? There's Wildfire Rich stuff at the Atlanta airport now?
I'll share it with you again real quick, and everybody in the chat heard it, but I was going to like where you pick up your Uber at Hartsfield. It's Hartsfield Airport, right?
Yeah, Hartsfield. Yep.
Went to Hartsfield, and I'm going to the Uber section, and there's a light pole there, and I took a picture. It's on my Instagram. You can see it. I took a picture of this. There's a sticker, black and white sticker, Tommy Rich, and it's got a promo written out that he cut. I think it was probably on Buzz Sawyer, I think. And it's a sticker just on a fucking light pole in Atlanta. I go, this guy, 38 years later, is still just as over in Atlanta, Georgia. As
he was over. Georgia Championship Wrestling. He was unbelievable. I have a good friend of mine that I've gone to a lot of shows with, and he was a big Tommy Rich guy because he was from Syracuse in New York, and Georgia Championship Wrestling is kind of what he grew up on.
Oh, man.
So he loves Tommy Rich.
I'm a big Tommy Rich guy. I love Tommy Rich, man. So he's like, come on, baby, it's all work, man. Come on. And then somebody was like, do Sammy Callahan and Tommy Rich having a chat. I am the death machine. Yeah, you haven't died until you live, son.
Tommy Rich is still going, man. He's still wrestling.
He's still wrestling. How about that?
Sadly, I have another show I'm going to, but I think he's doing a show in Jersey maybe next month.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
Have you met him during your ECW days? Did you?
Yes, yeah, and I believe that's what he's reforming is the ECW group. He's doing it with like Smothers and stuff. Like he's doing some type of tag team or 6-man tag match.
Is Tracy Smothers? Is he in remission because he had cancer?
Unless he's like not in the match, but he's there. I didn't look too close at the details. He's there. He's advertised, but I don't know if he's in ring advertised. Maybe he's but he's going to be at the show.
I did hear was doing a little better, so I hope
hopefully it'd be good to get some good news.
If you can find out, it'd be real nice to know if he's back to if he's in remission or what happened with him. Anybody in the chat knows, that'd be nice. Please please go ahead and share that with us. But also, if you'll notice, Bill, in the chat, there's Skull 17 put in a bunch of chat shortcuts. You can put exclamation mark and a couple of different things. You'll see little, I think you put exclamation socials and all our social media comes up. Exclamation scumbag, and then there's a little insult to Kyle that comes up automatically.
Oh, very nice.
All sorts of shit going on there.
Are these Twitch exclusives?
I believe so. You can find it.
Nice.
Oh, here we go. You put it right there. Commands. There's your shortcut right there. So we'll definitely get it in. Thank you, Brian. We appreciate that as always. So we'll take a look at those. But yeah, no, it was I went on a whole diatribe, Bill, about Tommy Rich, NWA Championship, 6-day reign. Somebody's like, did Tommy's reign last longer than your marriage? I said, just a little bit. But I was telling everybody, I thought it was great. Within the 6 days he was NWA champion, he made a Japanese tour in those 6 days. Can you believe that he actually went 2 days? That was fun. Man. Oh my god!
And you wouldn't know about it till 2 months later in a magazine.
Yeah, no shit. he pulled off a Japanese tour, came back, lost at the Harley race in a rematch. Unreal, man. But no, that was Great match though. The post. I'm curious what happens next week. Again, I do feel it's a little rushed. See what happens next week with this. We go to Goldilocks in the back with a new church, and they're saying the Sandman. What Jim Mitchell? I don't know if you guys noted the exact wording down, but he says the Sandman interfered. He's like, you cost me a drinking partner. This whole thing, because you had to interfere. Because he says Saturn cost him a drinking partner.
Saturn. Yeah. By
getting the Sandman all riled up because the Sandman became the main course in the first annual New Church Cookout. This was interesting. If you remember last week, they burned him. They had the fireball.
Yeah.
So New Church and Team Extreme here definitely in a feud. This is getting heated, for lack of a better term. But he says Perry Saturn has blown so much smoke up the Sandman's ass that he's surprised he doesn't have colon cancer by now. That's the exact words. I was like, son of a bitch. But he did say extreme blood can be manipulated, and he has found the dragon that will eat your flesh tonight.
Yeah, what a quote there. Ooh, only the Sinister Minister can pull that off.
How good is Jim Mitchell? I mean, just even back. I mean, this is nearly 20 years ago now. How incredible has he always been? I miss him on TV now. That's making me miss him more.
Yeah, well, hopefully after this past Tuesday, we're getting a tease of maybe a return, which we can only hope for.
She did tease it, right?
I got
a resurrection.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know what shape he's going to be in if they do, but I'm just I got my fingers crossed.
I think so. I think she did mention it's gonna take a little while to resurrect him, so it's gonna be a little bit.
She's got to get in the kitchen.
Yes. So we'll see what happens. I hope he's back. I hope he's back. This is what I'm, because it's been. When was the last time we saw him? I mean, that was
when the ladies were going at it in the Undead Realm.
Yes, and we used to have a little clip from this, but that sadly saw an end to that, just like James did.
Why did we lose that clip? Why did we get rid of that clip?
Didn't we have something with the cat? Didn't we have
we got
the book this shit?
We got the Who Booked. We need the Who Booked This Shit. That's what we need.
Yeah, we need to bring it back to Who Booked This Shit.
I mean, I don't know why he took that out of here. Let's get Who Booked This Shit back.
I think that was just because there was a little piece of video I think that went with it. So anything that had the little video went bye-bye.
The audio on it is a little. It
may not have been the cleanest. It may not have been the cleanest.
It's not. Yeah, and plus it's censored, so it's
Who booked it?
Jay, see if we can fix that. We need a Who Booked This. That's perfect to have in a podcast like this. Shit.
Oh, yeah.
Well, if we get the picture and we get the audio, maybe we can slip your audio in with his audio and Who Booked This Shit.
And as we're talking, James Mitchell. I know we talked about on the other show. This is mainly the same crowd, but anybody here. We are looking for that emote for Twitch. This is the throwback crowd. Any faces? We're taking suggestions. Throw it in the chat. Do it on the Discord. Do it on the social media. Maybe James Mitchell would be a good emote.
That'd be a good one. I think Susie is leading the vote currently. Right now,
that's a good one. I'm a Susie fan, but I could see Eric Young. There's a lot of good Don West for the throwback crowd.
You made a good point, though.
Options.
Bill, you made a good point. Let's not do one that Impact has. So people are saying Rosemary. It's like
correct. I love already. Huge Rosemary fan, but I would not double up any other channels. One, because as we see in our chat, people use the Impact ones. They use the brand ones. So we don't want to. Let's give something new. Where if you're subscribed to our channel, you get something that you can use on all these channels.
Yeah. So we'll keep it. So guys, get your votes in, guys. Like I said, Susie's winning, but Don West has been mentioned. Eric Young. There was a couple others. So we're gonna go back. We'll tally them all up. We're almost there, I believe, for the next emote level. So keep your subscriptions coming in on Twitch. I think I'm 1 or 2 more subscriptions if we got it.
Nope.
So come on, keep coming in.
Not bad.
And thank you to Truck for helping make that happen. Big part of that too. So. All right, so where do we live off here? Let's so Bill, so it's like we got about you perfect timing, Bill. Halfway in, you made it.
There we go.
Time. So Saturn comes in. This is a match now. Saturn comes in the ring and he says, "Bring it." He goes, "Bring me." He cut another great promo here, by the way. Short, but Saturn's 2 weeks in a row. Promos are fantastic.
Yeah, it's short but sweet.
You guys might have saw on our Twitter at We Talk Impact today. I put a photo from last week's of Saturn and Goldie, and I wrote Hidden Gem. And I talked about that promo from last week, which was great. The one about you got to be in 500 fights and all that one. I definitely want to encourage you both for these older shows. You both have the Twitter. Feel free to call those out because I think there are so many, and you guys in the chat too. I know a lot of you guys were watching along with us. If you guys see some cool stuff, Hakeem does it a lot. I know Hakeem always put some photos up, like screenshots when he's watching. There are some real hidden gems on these early shows. I wish I was doing it from the beginning, from number one. But if you guys see some really cool stuff, like DM us, call us out. I'll tweet it out from our thing or retweet yours, whatever it might be. We'll definitely give you a shout out. But if you can see some really cool hidden gems from these episodes, let's put them out there. Let's get these out there. Let Impact Plus, let the fans see the old school stuff for sure. Because things like that Perry Saturn promo is great. And I'm like, that's it never gets talked about. So it's so buried deep in, but there's a lot of cool stuff like that. All right, big debut. One of your Bill, a guy you might have seen in Philly.
Yeah, Saturday, big fan of this guy.
So Jim Mitchell debuts his flesh-eating dragon, and it's Mike Awesome.
Oh man!
Now, Jay, you a Mike Awesome guy? Were you a big fan of Mike Awesome?
I liked all of his stuff that I saw. I saw some of his stuff in ECW. His stuff in WCW just came off as really super weird. And
the 70s guy,
70s guy,
yeah, 70s guy, and just sat down with what it was, a plate full of donuts or whatever.
Well, that was the Fat Chick Thriller, Mike.
Yeah, Fat Chick Thriller.
Can you imagine? Can you imagine that today? Ooh. Like we would have people's heads on that one. That was unbelievable.
It's crazy.
But Bill, did you see any of the Mike Awesome and Tanaka matches?
Oh yeah.
Oh my God. I mean, Mike Awesome. It was awesome. Lack of a better term. Just
that freaking awesome bomb on the outside. Oh my goodness.
I think he's
still seeing it today.
Yeah. In my opinion, probably my favorite big man, I would say. Because I think he was like, he never gets mentioned in the big man category. People are always like, oh, Vader, Bam Bam Bigelow. Like those are all the common two get mentioned a lot. I always go with Mike Awesome. He is my favorite because he could, and here's a perfect example. On their main show, we've had a lot of the argument of the Brian Cage thing. We've talked about it. Cage want to be a high flyer, just want to be a heavyweight. Just want to be a high. Mike Awesome's the best example of this. A guy who's a power move big guy, like a Brian Cage, but he's not doing hurricanranas. He does the one dive in the match. He'll do the one time.
He limits it a little bit. That makes you go, wow.
Right.
But it's like, that dude's a beast. But wow, look what he just did.
Exactly. And that to me is how a big man uses, high flying moves. Because Mike also, it'd be power moves. It'd be power bomb off the top rope, power bomb off the ring, smash him through the corner. I mean, it was all, but then the one little, it's like, he's so fired up. He fucking just dove off, just cleared the top rope and went, that's the one move. And then you're like, God damn, he even did that. When it's like a Brian Cage, my criticism was he doing too much of it. What are you gonna say, Jay? Sorry to cut you off. Go ahead.
Oh no, it's all right. No, I'm just refresh my memory here because going back that far, it's really fuzzy. He did the goofy gimmick in WCW. Where was he right before that? Because I know I saw his stuff on TV. Was it when ECW was on TV?
He was on TV with ECW.
Like when they had the TV deal for like a year or whatever it was. I forget.
Yeah, near the end of his run.
Yeah, he did do the ECW on TNN stuff, so he was on there.
Because something tells me I remember watching him on TV before he came to WCW and did that gimmick.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think I actually did see some of his ECW stuff. Like I didn't see the pay-per-views, but I did see some of the later ECW content. It's real fuzzy. I'd have to go to, like I said, the other network and go look it up. But yeah, because I know I saw him before the goofy gimmick, and it's just real fuzzy. I can't remember it, so I'm just trying to remember where it was from.
Yeah, well, JJ, I think Trent hit it. What you want to go watch is those Tanaka matches with Mike Awesome. And I actually saw Tanaka live about a year ago with GCW. They brought him in. He still looks great. Tanaka was still awesome.
Yeah.
Like just because they would have probably met up again in the future. So it would be it's sad that Awesome is no longer with us, but the dude was all the perfect name because he was awesome. And I even gave I think like it's like a credit I'm giving. I said it on I don't know if it was just a watch along or not, but Laree D, or as we like to call him, Lawrence Delicious. I think that gimmick where he's Lawrence D, I think that should be his character. I think they found like a gem there.
Yeah.
Like I'm sorry, Triple XL, you got to split up because I think Lawrence D is like a mix of Johnny Swinger and that 70s Mike Awesome.
It could, yeah.
Like he's got that something about him, and I think it's great. Like when I first saw him come out, like just the way he looked, I'm like, oh, that's Mike Awesome in WCW. That's awesome.
True.
That's great.
I don't think
now I want to go back and see those clips because
I don't think the world was ready for it at the time.
No,
he just came off of being a killer.
Yeah.
And it's like you can't transition a killer
Correct.
into
Like
a comedy character.
Like but Laree D's tough. Like he's got that big fist, but like he's a tough guy, but a comedy character that's also like a little bit of a badass.
Yeah.
As opposed to like a Johnny Swinger who's just kind of he's a good tactician, but he's comedy. I think Laree D's a badass comedy guy.
Yeah.
I can dig that.
Yeah.
I can too. No, absolutely, Jay. Awesome and Tanaka are the matches to watch.
And that's the latter ECW stuff.
Yeah, because that feud came from FMW and carried over to ECW. So it was a Japanese feud, and then it came over to the US. And Bill, I don't know if you might know about this. Did you have any of the FMW compilations, those tapes that they put out? Or anybody in the chat had those?
I did not. I saw some of the stuff that was on them. Like I think one of my friends actually had it, but I did not actually have the tape.
So the commentator was a guy named John Watanabe. He was like the English commentator. Like it was like John Watanabe and Dan the Mouth of Ransky, who from Live Audio Wrestling up in Canada, which I don't know if anybody remembers that show at all. It was called The Law. It was like the first wrestling radio show going back to like the mid 90s. And they were like the first guys putting out shoot interviews on AOL and shit. I mean, I was listening to stuff early. But Adam knows about him. So I just recently connected with John Watanabe. I don't know how I found the guy I left a comment on something somebody posted on LinkedIn, and John Watanabe is like, "Oh man, it's great to see somebody still remembers the FMW tapes." And he messaged me. I'm like, "Holy shit, you're the commentator from FMW," and we've been talking like all the time now, like constantly. He used to live in Chicago, and he got to start here and talking about his indie days. I'm like, what the hell? And life is so funny, guys. I had the VHS of the FMW collection because they went through a phase where they just released a shit ton of FMW stuff. You know, a bunch of Hayabusa stuff and Mr. Ganosuke and Masato Tanaka and all that shit got put out, right? And I used to watch this. I mean, this John Watanabe was a commentator. Now here he is on my LinkedIn out of nowhere. Like, what is that? But super random. Super random. But this match was good. I didn't think it'd be a clean one. I really didn't think it'd be a clean one, and it wasn't. Everybody runs in. Team Extreme runs in. The New Church runs in. Just a schmaz. Up until that point, though, very hard-hitting match. Like exactly what I wanted out of these two. Beat the fuck out of each other. And Awesome was a little bit thicker, but didn't miss a step. Did not miss a step here at all, I think. I think he was killing it, Jay.
He looked a little winded during this, but he still looked great. Like, you know, it took him a little time between like big moves. Like he was really huffing and puffing, but he looked great though. It was a nice surprise. I was like, oh man, Mike Awesome. I have not seen this dude in years. Mm-hmm. So yeah, that was a nice surprise.
It was cool to see him, and I think he still hits hard. Saturn, I think, has been looking fantastic so far. So yeah, it was a total schmaz. I did love this. 2 matches later, I love that TNA calls back to this one and says, by the way, anybody wondering, I got the word from Rudy Charles. It was actually Perry Saturn was disqualified in that match because of all the Extreme guys were ranting in. So like, I love that. I did like that he put that up, but it didn't end there. So the big schmaz going on. classic ECW fashion. Bill, how many ECW arena shows were you at where the lights went out? Somebody showed up, right?
It became something where you almost expected it to happen. It was like, okay, when's the lights going out tonight? Because it would happen on a every at least couple show basis for a while there, where they were really ramping it up. So yeah, and I'm honestly, this stage at TNA has been very common with it too, because obviously a huge ECW influence on this early TNA.
Yeah,
big time.
And it just gets more and more. Like right now, it's like it feels like almost half it's like end of WCW, ECW roster, and a few other throw-ins.
If you weren't signed outright for that first year, like 02, you had the guys who waited out contracts, the guys who didn't get picked up, and the guys who didn't want to go. Yeah. And the guys who were just brought to TNA. That's everybody in the TNA roster at this point right now.
Yeah, as we just talked with David Penzer, he's one of the few that didn't go anywhere. He did kind of his own thing.
Yeah,
like he was out. Like, but that's like one of the few guys that didn't. Like he left the scene for a little bit.
I got to say, though, as a guy, and Bill, you probably were going to a lot of indies around this time, too. If you were going to indies between 2001 and 2004, it was the wild fucking West, because everybody was everywhere. Like, I wish I had a smartphone back then. I could have had pictures of all these guys. And it was like everybody was everywhere. And it was unreal, Jay. Like, you just saw, like, I was seeing matches of guys who main event, shows today. Like, it's insane, and they were on their indie runs back then.
Yeah,
and the time period now feels very similar, because you got surprises showing up here and there with different brands. So that's why I'm enjoying these so much. It's got that same like that there's a breakdown in the industry.
Yeah,
there's a lot of free agents, and you never know when certain people from another brand are going to show up here. So
yeah, and in this case, we had a lights out, and it was that's just not the coolest. That's just not the best. That, my friends, is just incredible.
and good pop for Just Incredible.
Yes.
Yeah, it really was. Yeah,
he was hyped up.
Yeah, I mean, it certainly was a change from when they brought in what the hell was that? Oh, Mike Barton.
Yeah.
Oh God.
Oh, Mike Barton.
They're like, who is that? A guy that was in the crowd?
It's just a big guy in the crowd, I guess. Big pop for Justin. He was fired up. You can tell he was very excited to come back.
Oh, kendo sticks for everyone. You get a kendo stick.
Oh.
You get a kendo stick, and you get a kendo stick. Yeah, it was. He was hot. He was fired up. He was drinking, spitting beer. And it was, which is the cover of this review here, is a nice little ECW reunion. The the extreme group grows, folks. It grows here.
I like Justin. I met him once. Super nice guy. A lot of ups and downs in life. He's on a clean path now. He does a show with Russo on the Russo brand now.
Yeah,
so
he just joined Russo. Yeah, he just started doing. I saw the reviews just within the last few weeks. I forget which one it was. I apologize, but yeah, he just joined Russo's flock. If you
he's on there. He's clean now. Things are back on track. He went through a real rough patch, but
yeah, he even made a documentary out of it.
Yeah, I liked him always. I thought he worked very hard. His run as ECW champion, like when he won it, which I don't think his win, Bill, that wasn't at the arena, right? That was somewhere else where they did the double, or Taz dropped.
Yeah,
Austin dropped the Taz.
I do not believe that was at the arena. I think that was when they were more touring and they weren't doing as much at the arena anymore.
Because that was when where Dreamer beat Taz, and then immediately Justin challenged Dreamer, and the way he did it. That fit to me. I still go back to this. Just incredible. That finish, when Dreamer wins it, he cuts that whole sad promo. I don't want to win it. I'm never going to make it to WrestleMania. I don't want to go to Starrcade. I want to make it at ECW. And he's crying. Dreamer cries. So Dreamer's crying. And then Just Incredible comes in and just fucking nails him in the head. He goes, "Come on, Dreamer, you son of a bitch. Give me a title shot." Just forces him into a title shot. Ring the bell. And it was just such a good fucking...
I love Just Incredible. I mean, I even love the goofy shit he did in the E a couple years down the road. But yeah, I liked him too.
Can I share a personal Just Incredible story though? I gotta share one quick thing. My little sister, who watched wrestling with me growing up, she had her favorites. Her favorites were Razor Ramon. She loved Razor. She loved the Kid, 1, 2, 3 Kid. But she loved Aldo Montoya. Little sis loved Aldo Montoya. I'm talking like he's fun, you know, like he's a cartoon character. She loves Aldo Montoya. So if you guys haven't seen, Aldo Montoya has its own Twitter account because he kind of started re-embracing the character. But Aldo got a new Twitter account.
He even follows me, yeah.
Yeah. So Aldo was he kind of embraced the whole thing because retro's cool. So he did a giveaway where he was like, he's like, hey, retweet this, like and retweet, random drawing. I'll pick an autograph. So I'm going to get an 8x10 too. An actual, mid 90s, new generation era 8x10 promo pick. So lo and behold, I won. I won the contest.
Nice.
And I said, could you sign it to my little sister? And he's like, yeah, no problem, dude. I got you. And he signed it to her. My sister's name is Summer. He signed it to Summer. And I signed it over to her. She goes, Aldo Montoya just sent me an 8x10. What? And I was like, it's actually from him. Like, just a great gift. Super nice of him to do that, man. So definitely got a soft spot in my heart for Just Incredible, even though right here he's kind of a bad guy. But I love the guy. I love the guy.
Badass is what he is.
Total badass. But that shot at the end, J-Bone, that you made the cover of the show at, they're all in there just giving the X, and they're all in there just Team Extreme. So this is gonna grow. This is about to ramp up like huge in a bit. We go from that right away. Goldie's outside. Jeff Jarrett's in like the ring truck, and he's just like tossing shit out. And Goldie's like, "What are you doing? Oh my God, Jeff! What the hell?" Before you came in, Bill, like Adam Impact over here pointed out how Goldie is a lot like an old like a sexy Lance Russell. Because Lance Russell always be like, "Oh, what are you doing, Jerry? Come on, stop it! Oh my God!" So she's like a very excited version and a sexier version of that. Like, Jeff, Jesus Christ!
Well, we definitely have seen this transition in Goldilocks interview style from those early episodes to really like in like the last, I'd call it maybe 6 episodes.
Yes,
it seems like. I don't know if that was a management decision. I don't know if that was her decision. But you can kind of tell the style changed. She's much more animated with kind of like she's always getting like the yell or the scream, and they're like, ah! like it's definitely a different one. And you're right, an animated Lance Russell's kind of pretty good, or a sassy J-Bone on his other podcast.
J-Bone. J-Bone, can you be like our Lance Russell? Like, come on, guys. Can we just keep the show rolling? Oh, God. I loved Lance because it's not that he was, like, doing it monotone or boring. He was doing it, like, when somebody's just upset. Like, what are you doing, man? Like, really? This is what we're going to do? Like, this is what we're going to do? Like, why would you hurt him right now? We're trying to do an interview here. Like, come on, Sherry. What the hell? I used to love that. It's just so real. Like, this guy just really... The Lance Russell, one of my favorite commentators of all time. So Jarrett's in the back flipping out. TNA does a sit down with AMW right about here, and he's talking about Harris. Yeah, talking to Harris about the whole him hanging out the Sports Entertainment Extreme. What's going on? Why are you sleeping with the enemy, basically, right, Bill? So he's now Harris. He kind of combats back a little bit. Like he kind of pushes back and says, "What's the big deal?" It's like I can hang out with guys. I just wrestle. Like, what's the problem? I don't know. What do you elaborate on a little bit for me? Like, anything catch your ear in this one?
This one I don't have the ones in front of me just because I got back and I did it yesterday. But I don't have any callback. But definitely the tone that he had was something that was noticeable. And we saw that, what was it, last week when they had kind of that interaction outside with Goldie. You can see the build with this going on right now. And you can see the way they were going. I know we kind of talked about Chris Harris when we interviewed Chris Harris. He was kind of like, you're when we were there teasing, breaking us up. Yeah. You can definitely see that there. Like, it seems like it's definitely in the cards right now. But yeah, no, it was definitely. I'm sure there was probably a few lines there, but it was. You could tell it was. It's definitely coming to a head. It's coming to a boiling point right now.
Well, he's kind of breaking kayfabe here. Where he's like, well, it's like, it's all business in the ring. He makes to put the exclamation point on business in the ring, and then there's nothing wrong with respecting the people that you just had a great match with, you went to war with, and then you go and have a couple beers in the back with them. There's nothing wrong with that. He's trying to, just break down that wall a little bit and just letting Storm know. He's like, hey man, it's okay, it's all good. There's nothing weird going on here. I'm not fighting for the other team or nothing. He's
like, what's the problem with hanging out so what, we just wrestling. What's the big deal? I just want to have a beer with somebody. I can hang out with whoever I want. Storm's like, no, you can't. It ain't work like that. God damn it. Sorry about your damn look. Sorry about your look. Sorry about his look. Fuck all your look. He was all James Storm, man. Bill, wait. I think about James Storm. Bill can attest to this. The drinking is not a gimmick. That's legit.
It is legit. I can definitely attest to that.
Many times at the ale house. He was
many times at the ale house. I helped him with a case of Miller Lite after the ale house was closed up one night at the hotel. So yes, that is for sure.
I remember the first.
That's tremendous.
The first time I met Bill for that 4-day stretch, we were down there for taping, it's anniversary, and then the 3 days, we did the ale house every night, and Storm was the first guy there and the last guy out every fucking night. Every night, he closed it out. Who was the other? It was always two of them, Storm and somebody else. Always closed it out. I think Abyss was there pretty late too.
Yeah, he'd be there late with Borash even back then. I'm just trying to think of there were always people kind of holding court near the end. I'll tell you who was the refs. Earl was a guy that was there. He would last down there for a while.
Earl fell in love with Nurse Nicole down there. Absolutely.
I think he fell in love with a lot of ladies at the ale house.
I'll tell you what. They had a great conversation. And good night, Adam. Thank you for all the comments.
Oh, yes.
Finish this off when you get up tomorrow morning. So they met down there when we brought him. He did a surprise run in an AAW once, which popped the fucking crowd. It was nuts. He just happened to be in town, so I forgot. I think who brought him in was Brian Stifler. Stifler lived here for a while, so he brought him in one weekend. So we worked him into the show. So he's hanging out there, and he sees Nicole. He goes, my God, he said, "Bitch, still my goddamn heart. It's my nurse from Florida." He couldn't believe that it was her. What are you doing here, darling? It was just, I had a fucking blast. So he couldn't believe it. I was like seeing a ghost. What are you doing here? But yeah, you're right though. They would close it out. But Storm's all pissed off here. He ain't happy about this shit. He goes, this is not what I wanted. I'm not happy with you right now. So hey, we'll see where he said. Look, Storm's been there for me. I'll be there for Storm tonight. That's how it works. We got his back. So he's letting you know. Still his buddy. Great interview here. David Young going to talk about his match coming up with James Storm, but Siaki and Desire are in there with Goldie. And before David Young can say anything, Siaki comes. He goes, he goes, Ace in the Hole Corporation Incorporated. Sonny Siaki. He comes in, he cuts the promo for Young. He does all the talking. And I like how Goldie's like, wasn't it supposed to be you versus Storm? And he goes, what, are you kidding me? I'm too busy. I'm running things, right? I'm running a corporation. It's in the whole corporation. He goes, so he's like just putting himself over. Young cuts a promo. God, very, very Southern wrestling promo right here. This was. And I love, because I thought the immediate thought I had was this is extremely a Southern. He goes, James Storm, I'm gonna get you in that ring, and I'm gonna twist you and turn you like you're an old 3-day-old sponge, boy, and I'm gonna take you out. It's gonna be a hell of a fight. And Sonny Siaki. It's just the best line. J-Mo, I'll let you say if you have the line written down.
I skipped over this. I apologize.
He goes, have you heard yourself talk? Have you heard yourself talk? He goes, look, sports entertainment stream is cool. We're not rednecks like you, okay? From now on, I do your talking, okay? That's it. I do your talking. You can't talk like that. This is not cool. And he goes, Ace in the Hole Incorporated. And he just walks out.
Sonny was on fire. This was a great Sonny one. Like he went with the goofy locks. It was good stuff.
Yes. Adam, thank you very much again. He's listening on his way to work. Do your thing, son. Do your thing, brother. And thank you to Adam. Adam's been very, very awesome on, as a newer listener too. So thank you for jumping on board and hanging out with us and all the feedback online.
Thank you for all the support, man. Yeah.
A lot of support for especially the newer listeners. All the newer listeners, thank you guys. But Sonny was on. One thing I got to say, everybody on this episode, promos, everybody was sharp on this episode.
Yeah, it was tight. It was a tight show.
I just feel like everybody, it was one of those things where everybody just had their energy. They just caught that lightning that day. And was she laughing, Hakeem? Did she start bringing? I can't imagine she wouldn't. I mean, it seems so good. It seems so good. But everybody was just really on timing. Boom, boom. Everybody was nailing their timing, their promos. This was a very, very good episode. But then we go to the match. David Young taking on with Desire and Siaki in the corner, taking on James Storm. Desire gets a nut shot in, spine buster on Storm. Young wins. My call out here, though, so it was kind of a throw. I mean, they basically were trying to, it's a good way to get Young over at the expense of Storm. But what Mike TNA didn't mention, though, where was Harris? I thought Harris had his back. What happened to that whole thing? Did I miss something or what?
He told him in the interview, he's like, I will have your back.
Right.
He was nowhere at ringside. Harris just like.
But TNA didn't call it out, though, did he? I don't recall TNA calling it out.
I don't think he did. At least not here, not during this match.
And that's what I thought was weird, because I thought TNA, because he did the sit down, would have said, "Where's Harris? Why is he in the corner today?" And I thought that was a little strange.
That'll probably come back to that next week.
Oh, yeah, I think I'll probably address it there. But you're right, and I know TNA, we've almost become so accustomed to him filling in those gaps and kind of giving you those callbacks. It almost is surprising here where he doesn't do it, because he's almost kind of like taking that part of the show for you. It's like, just a reminder, he said this and he's not following through here.
That's right.
But yeah, this time he did not do it.
That's where I got confused. I was like, wait a minute, he didn't really call that out. So I don't know. It was interesting.
So where was he? What was he in another locker room? Getting distracted?
Could have been. Bill, just a quick callback. The Dreamer and Just Incredible ECW title change did happen at the arena.
There you go.
You must have been there for that one.
Well, maybe not, because remember, this is what, 2000?
April 22nd, 2000.
April 22nd, 2000. I will admit, because I always say, I'm early ECW and I'm mid ECW. When it gets to late ECW and they're traveling a lot and they're only doing some shows at the arena, like when it was monthly shows at the arena, I was there every show. Yeah. When it gets near the end, let's just say that's you're talking Bill, that first year of college, Bill. I will not say I made every show back then. I made some, but I didn't make them all.
There's a whole different show going on in Bill's dorm room as well as happening. Hey, slow down. Mother might be watching this. Come on, take it easy. But yeah, I hear you though. But that one did happen. The prior when Taz beat Awesome, when Taz did that whole thing where he came back and everything to take it off of Awesome, because Awesome was jumped to WCW at the time and all that. That happened in Indianapolis. So that was here.
Well, that's the thing. They were going all over the place. They were obviously, they had been going to New York for a while, but they were going all across the country at this point.
Yeah. My good buddy Danny Daniels was on those tours. He was on all those tours. He was on all that 99 to 2001. He was on those. Yeah. So he was. And I look at,
you're talking, those last those last couple of years, I made a couple of them, but they only probably did maybe I'd say maybe 4 or 5 shows a year back then. And I don't think they did 5 shows. It was probably 3 shows they did that year in Philly.
I actually have in my little collection unused tickets for the first show in 2001 that never ended up happening at the arena. The show.
All right. That would have been for your first time there, right?
No, I ended up getting them. I didn't have tickets. I didn't have tickets to the show. I got them after the fact.
Okay.
Collectibles, yeah. But I had the unused tickets for the show that never ended up happening at the arena in 2001. So that was I still got.
Oh, Millard, settle down.
So Bill was handling business back then. He might have been. Hey, listen, take it easy on him. He was 19 years old. Shit. He handle any business he wants to handle around that time. But what was her name? Okay, let's go on here. I love this one. We go to New Jack and Sandman playing chess. Very, very intense game of chess here. He says, we're fine. Extreme Brothers on the same page. All that. She's just going on and on. New Jack's like, I don't need no damn belt. He goes, I want to I want to dive off the highest thing I can. God damn it. Fuck your belts. And, New Church, you're all going to hell tonight. And then Sandman's like, hey, by the way, Jack, checkmate. You go, checkmate? Hell no, checkmate, motherfucker. He's like, so they go back to their chess game.
Oh,
hey,
they're going back and forth. And I'm like, wait, I'm listening to the promo and I get distracted by him because all of a sudden I look down and I'm thinking it's checkers. Wait, these two knuckleheads are playing chess?
Yeah.
You don't think of these two beer swilling, God knows whatever else they're smoking in the background, back in the locker room or, knowing New Jack lines of God knows what. They're playing chess? What the hell? That's the craziest part of this whole damn thing.
Playing chess.
Well, Sandman makes sure to tell Goldie we know women don't play chess during this.
Another thing that if it said today would have been lit on fire, for God's sake. It was a wild little promo. Sandman was fired up, cutting a great promo on everybody. Just, we're gonna take him out. The Team Extreme's fired up. You're just kind of giving the whole just the riot act. It was cool though. I like that. So it was you're basically getting the seeds of a very intense feud of our kickoff with Team Extreme about to happen here. And I like the perfect opponents, the New Church. Perfect. You couldn't ask for a better set of opponents for them. I love it. I love where it's going.
Yeah, they're going bonkers here.
And I ended up I ended up letting him kind of brush over, but they have the history. That history between Sinister Minister and ECW. That's where he mentions my drinking partner and all that stuff. It's true. You kind of forget about that. You're like, oh, wait a minute. Yeah, that's right. They have that history with him. So he was an extreme guy. I like it. It's perfect. It leads in perfectly, the whole thing. New Church versus New Jack and Sandman. Total brawl, chaos, just disaster. Everyone's killing each other. And Brian Lee too, Bill. He was ECW guy.
ECW. You don't think about it because, but I love Primetime Brian Lee from ECW. But it was once again, it's just the connections are all throughout there, the ECW ones. But those guys have now been established in early TNA, so they don't feel like this new ECW guard coming in.
They don't. Yeah, you're right. But I forgot Brian Lee was there. PG-13 even showed up in ECW once. And that means Wolfie D was there. If anybody's, he looks 100% different here, but Wolfie D of PG-13 is Slash. And JC Ice was Jamie Dundee, and that was Bill Dundee's son. So they actually did. I remember they came in. I think, Bill, you might have been at the show. They came in, they got murdered. They were just fed to somebody, maybe Taz or something. But they just got their ass handed to them in ECW. But that
happened a lot in ECW for certain guys. They all the 911 squashes, and Taz has some squashes. They would get guys over by having them just take out guys.
Sean Solomon Wheat. Is Brian Lee still wrestling? Because we can't find him anywhere.
If that's news.
If you can
see
find
it,
him,
but
because he always looked great. I just can't find him. He's got no presence online. I searched like crazy. I never saw him on shows, anything. So if anybody knows if Brian Lee is right, I'd love to connect with Brian Lee. He's one of my favorites during that time. He was also the fake Undertaker a couple years back too. So Brian Lee has a very low key guy, but he had a great career, man. He was Chains and Great Ball, one of the guys in the DOA also. So he's had a good run, just very low key. But great match. It was huge brawl, just extreme brawl all over the place. And Oh, my bad. I might have jumped over that. So the Just Incredible debut was here. It was here
at the end of the match.
At the end. Oh, so I jumped over. I said it was at the other one. I mentioned it during the Saturn and Awesome match. It happened during this one.
Oh, yeah. Actually, this one, yeah. The first one was the introduction to
Awesome. Yeah, my bad.
To Awesome.
Yeah. The Justin thing happened here during this one. So my apologies, guys. I jumped ahead on the Just Incredible thing, but that happened.
Didn't even know this. It's okay.
Yeah, but that happened here, and then they stood tall at the end. So New Church did win, though, right? Did you guys,
did.
New Church wins, but they played the Team Extreme music. Did you catch that?
Oh no!
Music guy botched. He did not play "Take You Under." He played the team that, and I was like, "The fuck!" And like, he didn't stop it.
Did he do it because of the ending? Because he showed up?
No. They made the pin. He played the music. It's playing, and then the lights went out. And I'm like, well, we're not supposed to know. Like, you're not supposed to lead us to that. You're supposed to play their music as if they won, which they did. And then the lights off should have cut everything. And then you go into the other one, But when Justin showed up, but no, they botched the music. And he didn't change it either. Just let it play through. I'm like, come on, music guy. Again, we're back to this now.
Keith Mitchell in the truck.
Keith Mitchell in the truck. What the hell are you doing?
Wrong button.
Jeff Jarrett's outside with the ring crew to let him know what he wants set up. And I love how Eric Watts sneaks in with like the huddle going. He goes, "Hey, you think you should put that there?" He goes, "God damn it." And he's like, throws something at Watts. Watts is wearing a t-shirt that says, "Jeff, you're dead."
Yes.
Which I love the mockery t-shirt. That was such a style back in old wrestling, especially in the 80s, like the Dusty sucks eggs or like I broke Wahoo's leg and all that kind of stuff. Like the message t-shirts were great. I think, and then remember Dreamer even put out, they had the Moose sucks eggs.
Oh yeah, you went with the Moose sucks eggs.
So I love the message, like the sayings t-shirts. So this was cool. Jeff, you're dead. So they brawl a little bit, nothing to kind of cut away quick. Now what I thought was the main event, and I completely slipped my mind. There was a match even after this one, but Jerry Lynn and Amazing Red challenging for the tag team titles against Triple X, and they kept calling the X-Division Dream Team, to which Triple X took offense, as Mike today like to point out. They took offense, or Don West told Mike today, they took offense to that, and they're really pissed off at you. And Mike today's like, "Oh, big surprise! Today has heat with the Sports Entertainment Extreme guy," which I loved.
Yeah, that was funny.
And then you even heard Skipper and Daniels throughout the show, throughout the match, yelling over at Mike today, like, "Oh yeah, who's the Dream Team now today?" Like they kept fucking with him the whole night. I love that. But amazing match, absolutely X-Division showcase. This was great. You guys got any thoughts on this, Bill? What do you think about this? And then we'll go to Jay.
Yeah, like when we saw them get this opportunity by winning that match with pretty much all teams that were just put together. Yeah. Like they were, obviously, you look at them like as two singles guys, they were by far the best looking team in that bunch. Mm-hmm. And obviously Jerry Lynn, Amazing, you can't go wrong there. But so there's going to be some great spots, and they have good chemistry. But I had forgotten they had won here. Like that surprised me when I watched it. I wasn't expecting them. I figured it was just almost like, okay, display the X division, show them off, but then the tag team titles wouldn't change hands, but they do. But it was a great match. But I thought in the end somehow Triple X would come out like maybe underhanded, do something like that. Maybe the Spider-Man luchador would make an appearance. Who knows?
Which he did, yeah.
Yeah. Oh. But they held on to the titles here. Like I think they would cost them from winning, but they did grab the belts here, which was impressive.
Yeah. Jay, what do you think, man? Thoughts?
I was just really surprised. I did not see. I mean, they're both very successful. They're both very over, but as quick as they became a team. And then, like the following week, at least I think it was the following week, to get the win over them shocked me. I mean, I figured they would have had a like a one-off or between like Jerry Lynn and Daniels, just to give it a little more build or something like that, to be like, okay, now you pinned one of the champs, now you have absolutely earned it, you know.
Yeah.
Which is typical, but it's, you know, it's good storytelling. It's consistent storytelling. This one, I was really just surprised. A great match, just surprised, especially with the interference from the Venom Spider-Man jumping in there. I don't know what you call it.
Yeah, he jumped in, took Red out, and then but Jerry pulled off an amazing performance here.
Yeah.
I knew they won the tag belts at one point. I do remember that, and I felt like this has to be the one. But I forgot that Red gets taken out. It's like Jerry was just at superhero mode. Like he pulled it out, like kicking out of shit, and it's great.
Yeah, that's obviously the storyline they're telling here is like you can't stop Jerry Lynn no matter what. Like
I consider, to be honest, in my opinion, I know AJ is labeled AJ is the first X-Division champion, but personally, in my opinion, I feel like Jerry Lynn is the godfather of the X-Division. I really, really believe that in my heart, because he came in as the veteran. He was the guy who kind of pioneered what became X-Division. Like, you know, obviously Conan with you stole Lucha Libre. But in the U.S., you know, guys like Jerry Lynn and X-Pac and Sean Waltman were big, you know, they had that huge feud, and they kind of pioneered that fusion style division, because the X-Division wasn't all just lucha stuff. You know, it was fusion of like high flyers who can wrestle like heavyweights at the same time wrestle as, you know, ground game and all sorts of shit, lucha influence, Japanese influence. They were basically, it was a fusion division in a way. And I'm like, I feel Jerry was a huge part of that, and that really is like the godfather of the X-Division to me. So people and the crowd erupts because he's like their boy at this point. Jerry becomes like, he's Nashville's guy. You know, he's there 41 weeks already at this point. They love him. He still lives there to this day. You know, he's out there. He went, a Minnesota kid. He's now living in Tennessee. But that was cool. It was really cool to see that. It was a good win. But I thought this would have been the main, but it didn't happen because Jarrett interrupts their celebration. Of
course.
Superman gets to close this show up. But I'm like, wait a minute. Okay, am I crazy? Did they announce that there was going to be a Clockwork Orange House of Fun match tonight? Did I miss something?
I don't think they announced it. I think this was, this seemed feel like added. I don't know back then when you were on Dave's couch if they had teased this, but I don't remember that. They didn't talk about this last week because right now we're waiting for the big match to come up. So why would something happen in the meantime?
Yeah, they're mentioning the countdown. I think Raven said something during the promo, like we'll see you at the end of the night or something. He said something like that, just real brief.
He just said, "Welcome to my Clockwork Orange House of Fun." That's all he said. I don't remember that ever saying there's going to be a match with Julio and Alexis taking on Jarrett in a 2-on-1. I don't think that those words ever came up. But when Jarrett comes in, he's attacking everybody. Where he starts cutting up Raven, he's like, "I'm gonna blow torch your ass," and you know, I have to go in the sex locker room. And then Tanae's like, "Well, the ring crew's setting up the Clockwork Orange House of Fun," you know, and I'm like, "Wait, what? Like, when did this happen?"
Yeah, because he just got like briefly into the promo, and then you saw the people behind him starting to set it up. It's like, okay, it's happening.
So I guess that's what he was telling the ring crew outside to like go ahead and set this up. But it's like, when did this get how would Tanae have known that was happening? You know what I mean? Like, there was a huge gap here because it was like,
yeah, we needed like another backstage segment, like mid-show, to kind of set this up.
Because there was no setup for it. Because you did see Jarrett was throwing the stuff out of the truck, and he's with the ring crew. And we're not sure what he's doing exactly.
Yeah,
so I guess he's implying this match, but you're right. They never got the setup where it was like, this is going to be a match now. Even Tanae's aware of it. And then so Jarrett goes after Raven, Alexis attacks him, Julio attacks him, and there's a match. But again, somehow Mike Tenay knew that was going to be a match. So
I could have swore Raven said something earlier tonight during that first promo. Maybe he didn't. I just thought there was a connection somewhere.
I don't hear. I mean, I know Adam Impact, who he left the chat now, but he said he'll finish it on his drive. But if you watch this closely, if you remember, or any of the other guys who watch this live, if we're off, tell us if we missed it, because I didn't catch it. So yeah, we have to look at it with the early 2000s mentality. Yes, where you just kind of skip a little logic, where you need to take a shortcut, maybe. But still, TNA's really good about it. That's why it's surprising me, because TNA's really good about filling in the gaps. So it was a brawl, just a wild brawl. I mean, he beat the fuck out of both
of them. Yeah. It wasn't just Julio, DiNero, and Jarrett going back with the stuff. No, Alexis Laree really gives it to Jarrett, and he gives it right back to her. Slams, trash can shots, chair stuff. It's just crazy.
I'll tell you, it's crazy impressive how good she was back then. Like, it's like that. Like, I remember her being there. I remember some of her matches, but I didn't remember like being like looking back, going, "Wow, she was really good."
Exactly.
She was really good back then.
She had it, you see it, because does she immediately go up north after this? Because she went there when did she debut up north? Because this is 03 we're in right now.
I feel when she leaves, there's a little bit of a gap, but I'm not positive because I probably wasn't watching up north that closely, but it feels a little quick. It feels like there's got to be maybe a little something there before she heads there.
I'm looking at it right now. She went to Ohio Valley for 2 years, and then
so she got some training there. Then she showed up. Okay, that makes sense. So
Yeah.
she went into her developmental from here.
Yeah, I remember. And I think she had a stalker gimmick, I think is what her deal was.
Yeah, that's how she came in.
Yeah, she was stalking Trish, and not to reflect on past WWF stuff, but man, her gimmick coming in stalking Trish Stratus it's a legend stuff. It's so good. It's so fun.
Yeah, because then she comes back to TNA and Impact in 2010, I believe she came back, and then she was there for.
Was that straight to hardcore country, or did she?
No.
That was their next comeback after that one.
The second comeback, hardcore country, was like 2015, I want to say.
Yeah,
and then she went to hardcore. The
she
first
was just Mickey James the first time.
Yeah, she was just straight up Mickey James. She came in as a referee at first, I remember, against the Beautiful People. I think she feuded with them first at like Bound for Glory 10-10-10 Bound for Glory, I think.
That sounds right, because I think you're definitely right. Because they did that a lot back then for knockouts, like from a known name was make them a special referee first.
Yeah.
Like that's how Terrence Terrell came in.
Yep. And then she came in that way, and then she had a decent run. I mean, her Impact run was like all in all almost 6 years. So she had a good run out there. I think she did fantastic. Total sweetheart. Got to meet her once. She's a real sweetheart. Mickey James. So, I mean, good for her, man. She is absolutely a very hard. You could see where she had it early on, because she took a fucking beating from Jeff Jarrett here, big time. Pretty good. I mean, just for what it was good. But I did like the finish. It was interesting. Jarrett's about to go off the rope and put Mickey and Julio through a table. Raven comes in, garbage can smash, gets Jarrett a little loopy, and then suplexes Jarrett through Julio and Alexis through that table, but then Julio rolls over and gets a pin on Jarrett. So that was it. We went off the air.
Yeah, crazy how that ending. It was. I mean, it was a hot mess. It all happened so fast. The way Raven slid in, like out of
real fast.
Like you see him, and all of a sudden he's in the ring, clobbering Jeff. I mean, it was. If you blinked, you missed it. It was like, oh, there's Raven. Wow, how do you get in there? I mean, he slid in there like lightning. It was crazy.
Yeah, it was well done, man. It was very well done. Raven is just on fire. His timing, his delivery, everything about Raven. You could see why he was the main guy. He was on fire here. Huge Raven fan. I especially this run to me was some of his best work.
Yeah,
he's just some of his best work of all time. And we're gonna get to that match, the big showdown, 2 more weeks, but. Which still, I'm going to be all pissed off again that day. It's going to be bad because I'm going to have a guest on, but he'll be pissed off with me. he'll probably laugh at me for still being pissed off 17 years later about it.
Oh, I know how it feels. I know I've been on here many times getting pissed off at Jeff Jarrett. So
I used to defend it back then. I said, no, he's good. It's Jeff Jarrett. He's a name, blah, blah. But when you see some of it now, especially in light of the bullshit with Jarrett too lately, let's not let's not say that that's not playing a part in some of my anger, but and that's not none of our business. But what I'm saying is, some stuff was just too much. You know, it was like it was overkill. I remember the criticisms back then that it's a Jeff Jarrett show. It's like some ways it is. I'm like, fuck. Like, you could have let the tag match close this out, man. Like, you know what I mean? You could have had this segment before, or just the Superman shit. You know, sometimes it's just, and then what happens with this feud also, it's just one of those things where I'm like, God damn it. You know? So, but all in all, very, very tight show. 41 was an extremely perfect, like, I don't say perfect, but it was an extremely well done show. Everybody firing on all cylinders.
Yeah, even the refs were firing on all cylinders tonight.
I couldn't find a problem with Rudy on this one. Usually,
Rudy was understated, which is good for Rudy. Andrew Thomas getting the big matches, like to see that. They were all big Andrew Thomas fans.
Yes.
But yeah, no, it was good. It was good. There wasn't too many shenanigans taken away from the show tonight, which is good to see.
Yeah, it was good. Jay, any final thoughts on this one?
Oh, it was. I was a little surprised that that Julio and Alexis won this one, but it can't be all Super Jarrett. So that was actually nice to see.
Gotta get that heat, you know, going into that big main. So
it gives some relevance to Julio, DiNero, and Alexis, Laree. I mean, man, they really took some bumps in this too. Jeez Louise.
They did
through the fences, the trash cans, the table spot, everything. I mean,
big time,
man.
No, absolutely big time. It was a well done show, well done match. All in all, I really did enjoy it. So definitely good stuff, man. I'm continuing to look forward to the big build as we get to 43. This has been a fun one, but I feel like the company, you know, Impact's always gone through these phases in a way, right? Like the certain build phases. Like I think 03 was a very important year for them. You know, 02 was the beginning. 03 started to gel. Like, what are we now? Now this is what we are. And they're flying. This was their first major program. Like I said, 43 was so well hyped. They said they had nearly a half a mile long line to get into the asylum. Like, it was long to get in. Like, people were just clamoring. And I think they set up closed circuit even for it because it was that much in demand. So they were really striving, you know, like we're at that point where like they had the international market deal going and they're gelling. Because we all know in 04, they go to major pay-per-view and they go to Fox late 04. So like a year-ish and a half from like where we're at right now is when they get the national. They move pretty fast. So this was like the first phase of like that. Okay, a little bit of boom. Now we're knowing who we are. Then you get, you know, obviously the other phases are like Fox deal, Spike deal, Angle, you know, Sting, all that. Like there's different peak points of Impact always, even up till today. You know, it's Slammiversary 2020. I'll always consider as a big one, recent one. That's a peak point of Impact, that turning point, so to speak, that the company's experienced. So this was one of them. So I encourage everybody to watch 2003. It's a very important year. So
And like I've said a bunch of times, which is why I'm enjoying it so much, is because the feel and the atmosphere surrounding these shows is the same way in what's happening in wrestling today. You know, there's a ton of free agents. You don't know when they're going to get surprises on this brand or that brand or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And it's the same, only different, just a different time frame. You know, different crowd. Obviously, there's not as much social media presence here, which is nice. You know, there's still some like forums back then, but obviously it's the birth of all that. So, you know, the surprises are legit surprises and nothing's spoiled. It's really cool.
Yeah, it's been pretty fun to watch. But that was it, guys. That's 41. So we got to look at 42 next week. Bill, you in town? You got a show next Thursday? Or you on for that one?
I think I am. Hold on, I'm checking the date here. Yes,
as long as you're on for 43, that's the main one. I got to be on.
Yeah, 40. Yeah. I'm good. Yeah, the next couple weeks will be not a problem.
Right. Good deal. Very nice, boys. So, guys, that was it. We appreciate all you guys hanging out with us and joining us and watching along with us, especially. We really enjoy. I don't want to speak for these two guys, but I love the throwbacks. To me, it's not our highest viewership. You know, the main show gets the most, but I love it. To me, it's nice to relive these years. It's a lot of fun.
You know what we love? Lakers.
Lakers in the house. What's up, Lakers? Saturday's your show in Atlanta, right, Bill? You guys go Saturday.
Yes, I will be at another show tomorrow, and then going right from that show down to Georgia.
So you're driving to Georgia. Very nice. Lakers, are you going or what, man? We've been waiting on this answer. Bill needs to get a selfie with you. With a mask, by the way. But Bill, definitely patch in. Let us know how that's going, man. Get some content for the show if you got any. If you've got time, let us know what's up with that, how it went. But that's the Impact. Is that on Twitch? Or what is that on?
No, that's they're filming things for Impact Plus. I don't know when and how it's going on. Like, I do not believe like they're doing anything live or anything like that. I think they're building content that's going to be presented together. Not sure, but obviously I know both referees are going to be down there. Toll and our friend Daniel Spencer is going to be there. So we'll see. I don't know if they'll just take those like the kind of the three main Impact talents, but then like I also know Jay Bradley, who's in Ohio Valley, will be down there. That has some Impact ties. So. We'll see what happens because I don't really know a lot of the matches that are featuring them. But yeah, no, hopefully I'll get an idea and be able to share some of it on Saturday.
Very nice, man. Yeah, Daniel Spencer, guys, by the way, referee Daniel Spencer will be on with us on Tuesday. Top of the show. Okay, join us for about a half hour or so. Just shoot the shit a little bit.
Yeah, might do a little catch up on Saturday's activities too.
Yeah, you can do that. So bring in Daniel Spencer for a little quick chat, then we'll hang out. And then Jay, I want to mention to you guys too. Josh Paxton recently designed our newest T-shirt, the cast of characters on ProWrestlingTees.com/Total Nonstop Impact. I told him to patch him in just so we can thank him for a minute or two in person for doing the design. So after Spencer hops off, if you can get in Paxton, we just want to say hello and thank him, and then we'll go into the review, and we'll try to keep the review concise on Tuesday.
A little hit and run style review, you're saying?
Yeah, not a hit and run. Jesus.
I'm still waiting on that the message from Kyle. We almost did it last night.
Is there a schedule for the hit and run? Like what?
No,
what's the schedule?
Kyle's like, let's do it tonight. That's the schedule. He was going to watch it while he worked, and then he was going to let me know. But then I never heard from him, so I guess he didn't watch it at work.
Typical.
Well, his schedule's all flipped up now. He never knows what he's doing. So
so my guess is what he thought he could do, he couldn't. So I'm sure it'll be later. But I told him after last night it was going to be tough for a couple days. So if he wants to do it, it'll probably be on Monday. The day before.
Gentlemen, let's just be glad that he did not interfere in this show tonight. Can we just be glad that he didn't jump in and ruin tonight's show? Can we just be glad about that, please? I'm sure the listeners are very glad about that.
It was hilarious. I don't know who did it, but thank you. Someone made a fake. You guys are gonna love this. You didn't see it. I saw it right before Trent got in here. Somebody actually made a fake Sean Ross Sapp account and said, "Hey, can't wait for my apology."
Was it a fake or was it really him?
It was fake.
Yeah. Oh, okay. It was a fake. Got it.
I
That's literally the fake wrestling news.
Yeah, that's as fake as fake can be. And you're not getting one, Sean, because you're just not.
Should we? For that, like, can we play it one time? I didn't play it on this past week's show. Can I just go ahead and play it? Because we don't do sound bites normally on the throwback. We respect the throwback, but. I just want to say to all the goddamn dirt sheets, you're nothing but
Longing for that fake wrestling news. Don't believe anything that you read on the internet.
Absolutely love it. Absolutely, I never get sick of it. That's the greatest thing
I
Kyle
can
ever
listen
did.
to that all day. Listen to that all day.
I want a full version. I know there's a full version out there.
Oh,
it's
extended remix.
I think it's on Russo's YouTube channel.
Yeah,
it is. Yeah, because somebody made it for him. One of his listeners made it for him, so it's great. But guys, all right, let's get our plugs in here. We'll let you guys go. It's a little late. Bill, where can people connect with you? And then also, if they want to get a hold of you this weekend, let them know where you're going to be. What shows?
Yes. So they can reach me on Twitter at my name at William M. Gardner, GAR Danny R. And I will be putting Saturday's pictures on my Instagram. So start watching that, and then I'll start putting some of that older content on there. But yeah, so I was at ICW No Holds Barred Pit Fighter X show this night, last night now. And I'll be going back to ICW No Holds Barred Volume 6 in the same venue Friday night. So anybody that might be there, feel free to say hello.
Where's that at?
That is in Millville, New Jersey, near Vineland. So that's for tomorrow. Once again, pretty much a lot of death matches, things like that. And then Saturday, I'll be down in Dublin, Georgia, with the Larietto Pro Wrestling Guild / Impact Plus show. That's going to be done featuring the Big LG, Doc Gallows, world champion Eric Young in his first appearance with the strap.
Shit. Yeah.
Heath, the free agent. And like I said, Jay Bradley from Ohio Valley Wrestling, a lot of the Larietto Pro Wrestling guys, and referees Brandon Toll and Daniel Spencer will both be at the show. Maybe some more. We don't know. So we'll see.
I'm looking at the poster now. It looks pretty good. Definitely looks pretty fun. Very fun. So it's an Impact Plus taping. It says it on the poster, guys. So if you're down there, definitely get down there. But Bill will be there. Go shake his hand, get an autograph. $20, right, Bill, for an autograph and photo with you? $20. He'll sign your ticket.
There we go.
And definitely
physical. I don't know if they even have physical tickets anymore.
Nowadays. You catch the corner with a physical ticket.
I know you've been with us for a while, but are you doing any other third party dealings out there, front row Bill? No, I'm kidding.
Cut his mic. Blood Rain. I was thinking the same thing. Pit Fighters. They referenced that old video game. I love that game. By the way,
yes, they were playing that up off that, because back when I went there previously, Alicia went the second night. But the first night that there was, because they were actually going to be doing 2 days of shows, they wound up going in a barn and did like a pit fighter style show. So now this time they actually did it as a pit fighter with a very small group. Only 30 people were invited and spaced out. But they actually, it's out there now. They actually bought like an MMA octagon, like an actual.
Jesus.
So they actually had an octagon there, and they fought inside the octagon.
Nice. Well, yeah, guys, get a hold of Bill William M. Gardner, Twitter and Instagram. Jay, get your plugs in here, sir.
You can find me over on that other little podcast called Smash This Podcast, where we're smashing all things wrestling. I just, look, it's the lovely little KL.
Motherfuckers.
You can find Smash This Podcast on all the socials, Instagram, Facebook, and the Twitter box. You can find me personally over on the Twitter box at JBone5150. That's JAYBONE 5150.
Very nice, guys. You can find me over at Trent Zuberi on Twitter. Give me a follow there if you're not already. The show at We Talk Impact, Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook. Just type in We Talk Impact or Total Nonstop Impact. Comes right up. Audio of the show is found on every major audio platform you can imagine: Apple Podcasts, Stitcher, SoundCloud, Google Play, iHeartRadio, TuneIn Radio, Spotify, Pandora. Like, review, subscribe, leave a comment. Give us a little feedback on the show if you're listening. If you're an audio listener, a lot of our international audio listeners love to know where you're listening from. Definitely, please leave a comment. Most of them, I think, are on iTunes. So our audio guys overseas on iTunes, please leave a comment on the iTunes rating and let us know where you're listening from and why you like us and where'd you find us from. Give us a little feedback. We'd love to hear from you. Please definitely connect with us. It's an honor to know our international market's growing so much. So get a hold of us there, guys. ProWrestlingTees.com/Total Nonstop Impact. New t-shirts out. The cast of characters is up. We appreciate Josh Paxson designed that for us. That is all of us in cartoon character format. Appreciate that. What else? Sunday night will be the Impact Plus Weekly. It's the Explosion Breakdown and Open Forum discussion. Thursday nights, as you know, are the Throwback show, and Tuesday night is the flagship show, guys. This Tuesday night's wild. Okay, let me tell you about Tuesday night. We do a watch-along alongside Impact Wrestling on Twitch. The watch-along goes on. We go right from the watch-along to the 2 to 3 hour review of the show. So we do a review and discussion. But again, we are not your typical review show for the people who want just a move by move. That's not what we do. We do.
Oh, no.
No, we do a discussion. This is the talk show. This is not a, well, I know so-and-so in segment 5, hit a clothesline. It's like, get the fuck out of here. No, it's a talk show. We do break down the show, but we talk about it. Like friends talk about the show, which is why you guys like us, right? Thank you. So we do that, guys, Tuesday night. And then we do it an hour after dark on Twitter. So TNI After Dark live on Twitter after the review show. It's a late day. Tuesdays are late, but a lot of fun. Basil likes to laugh at me. He goes, you guys are the only show that does like 6 hours of podcasting for a 2-hour show. So like, he's so right. I love it. So connect with us, guys. Am I missing any other plugs? Discord. Get the Discord, guys. There's a big chat going on in Discord. The link is in the description of the video and audio. Discord link will be there. Connect on Discord. Good chats going on there. Speaking of Basil, good friend of the show, him and I do another podcast on the side called the Backstage Boys Podcast. We talk more about indie wrestling production since we both work in it. We have a new t-shirt out, which is pretty smoking. Check it out. ProWrestlingTees.com. Thank you, Jay. ProWrestlingTees.com/the Backstage Boys. So check that out. I think that is everything, gentlemen.
One more
thing
that we should have before the Tuesday show. Kalon's new pet project.
Yes. Plug it.
To be determined when it goes on, but before the Tuesday show, we'll say that the KL Hit and Run show, which is a Titan version of the review. Titan as in, I believe the goal was 5 minutes, then 20 minutes, and 30 minutes. But now it is a 40-minute. There you go, Hit and Run to 4 a.m. The debut last week was at 4 a.m., actually Tuesday morning. So that was the first show on Tuesday of last week.
So it was the day of the show.
It was the day of the show. So we'll see. But hopefully by Monday, there's a new Hit and Run out. But that's more KL's thing. But I was on it last time. I may or may not be on it again. I do not know. If we can schedule it right, I will be. But if not, J-Bone might he'll either be on there the whole thing or make an appearance.
J-Bone's primed to come out of
he's ready now. He's ready. He's like, oh
yeah. I've got the ball.
He's got the ball. Speaking of Bison,
there you go.
Speaking of Bison's got a long form interview with David Penzer, ring announcer for Impact Wrestling, on the channel under the TNI UK playlist on YouTube and on the audio formats. And we had David Penzer on this past week for an hour talking everything Impact Wrestling and the business. So check that out, guys. That is up there. I really want to play the Barry Scott video one more time before we go, but I should save it for Sunday. It was so well done.
For those that came in late, no, go ahead. That's fine. It's a quick 1 minute video. Go ahead.
Let me play it again. Bill, you did miss it too. I do want to play it because it's a tribute to Barry Scott. So I'll close with this. Let's say our goodbyes now. We'll play this on the way out, and then I'll do the outro, and then we'll go from there. So guys, thank you very much. Sunday night, Impact Plus Weekly. We'll be talking the explosion for this past week and bring your topics we're going to talk about. So everybody, have a great night. We'll talk to you. Have a great weekend. We'll talk to you Sunday.
Stay safe, everyone.
Good night.
Yesterday, we were. Yesterday, we were dreamers with a boundless imagination. Yesterday, we were youthful zealots embracing the promise of tomorrow. Yesterday, we were pioneers with bold ambitions. And then, one day, they became daring and intrepid warriors, fearless leaders in a brave new world, the very embodiment of their youthful hopes and dreams. They built lasting legacies, created new worlds, forged indelible moments that forever echo through time. Today is the dawn of another new era in professional wrestling. But we will never forget our storied past. Tonight, yesterday is honored, embraced. Tonight, we come together to celebrate, to remember, to relive the dream one more time. for their passion is still tireless, and their spirit forever endures. Then and now.
Find me the name of this garbage show again that I'm on.
Total non-stop impact.
My name's John, capital letter E, period, Bravo, and you're listening to the Total Non-Stop Impact Podcast.
This is the jaw-jacking Tuesday Night Impact, and his mother called him son because he shines like one. Mocha Skin Manimal, Rohit Raju, and you are watching Total Non-Stop Impact.
This is Taya La Güera Loca, and you are listening to Total Non-Stop Impact.
The Walking Weapon, Josh Alexander, and you're listening to Total Non-Stop Impact.
We are the Rascals. And you are listening to Total
Non-Stop
Impact Podcast, baby.
Woo! And what you're really listening to is Total Non-Stop Impact. Don't you dare miss a lesson. Oh, yeah.